The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the guests. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily state or reflect those of the host. I'm a stupid robot.
Give it up for the funny, the hilarious. King of the open micers at the one-nighters, Alonzo Cantu.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good news, everyone!
Woohoo!
Yes!
There we go.
Ow!
Die! You're killing me. building entire just crushed and crumbled. I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. So the fences inform me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
Assistant Mary Nelson has managed to
computers indicate that whatever caused it came from somewhere in the Pacific.
We'll start searching that area immediately.
What, to the views? Let me see. Why can't I hear that shit? Oh, because I got that. There we go.
East.
Oh, yeah. It helps with the views. That's right.
East.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna add a snagglepuss fucking sound effect for the jilling off. The Zandy sent me that. I like snagglepuss. I'm like, I do like it. What I like is the yeah. I'm gonna add that together. That's gonna be the new one. The Wilhelm scream. Why can't I hear you? What the fuck's going on here? The Wilhelm scream. With the, how's that go? Let me get your best Wilhelm scream.
I don't know.
No, it's okay. Let's look up. I think it's usually like something like that. I think it's like a falling. I think it's usually a falling over dramatic one, if I'm not mistaken. And the Wilhelm scream is one of the audio memes. You heard of that, right?
Yeah. That they
Why can't I hear you? What the fuck can I hear you? Are you plugged in?
let me double.
Are you on mic 3? What the fuck's going on there? Oh my god, what the fuck? Why are you on mic 3?
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm on mic 3.
Why is that? Oh, there we go.
Mic 2, baby.
Let me see. Are you on mic 2? Do it.
Am I now on mic 2?
Yeah, it's so weird. Why can't I hear you? I have mine. I got it on mic. Where? It's weird. I can't hear you.
Mic 2.
I guess I can hear you. It's
Mic
whatever.
2, mic 2. Am I coming through?
Mic 2. Kamala is a Jew.
Oh, that was a reference to So before they were Die Antwoord, those two people from South Africa.
Can you make the mic louder? It's probably because I don't have. Oh, I know what it is. I'm so fucking stupid. All right, talk to him.
Yeah.
We're
So
right next to a fucking giant, loud ass fucking air conditioning machine. That's what it is.
But yeah, Die Antwoord, before they were Die Antwoord, you can look this up. They were Max Normal TV. And they have this one song called Total Fuck Up, where they essentially just call their shot as like, he essentially claims like, if I just wanted to sell out and make money, I could make mindless music for the rave scene. And then like 2 years later, they just rebrand as Die Antwoord.
And make a bunch of money?
Make a lot of money. Now they got Chappie. They got their own Chappie. They did a movie with Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman was on a little boat from Australia to South Africa. He came to Johannesburg.
Oh my God, this is so much fucking better. Oh my God, and look at this. Everything's fucked up right here. I don't know what does that whenever the show starts, the stream deck just wants to fucking have a heart attack on me. There we go. All right, Zandy, how's it sound now? We got Zandy in the chat. My fucking Medici, my benefactor. There we go. Let's turn that down just a little bit.
Ooh, yeah.
Mindless music for the rave scene. All right, Zandy, can you hear us? She's in the chat. I know we're on a delay. I think it sounds better. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
I can hear you, Doug. And I was next to this fucking bullshit. So what were we talking about? What did I intro the show
Sandy's
with?
your Medici and you're the Pope. I really like that.
No, not the Pope. No, so Zandy's my Medici, and I am a Michelangelo.
Oh.
No, I think Leonardo da Vinci. Oh, fuck. Listen, one of them was the. Let me see. Who'd the Medici?
Didn't they also like fund one of the like lines of popes?
Medici Leo or Michael? No, yeah, they totally funded all the popes.
Hell yeah, that's
Let me
really
see.
cool. If you're like imagine being like, guys, I'm paying off the Pope. The Pope is in my pocket. Is there anybody right now who has the Pope in their pocket?
Let me see. The
U.S. security state is now the Medicis.
Here's the thing. I think the let me see. Michelangelo. Oh, Michelangelo. So they were the Medicis. So who were who was Leo's benefactor family?
Besides his boyfriend.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Oh my god. Let's get it gay. Let me see. Who is Leonardo? Who is Da Vinci's? Who was Da Vinci's benefactor?
Yeah, he made the Mona Lisa, but he also made the Moaning Leon.
The Borgia. Oh yeah, I thought I was gonna say the Borgias, but it was the Borgias. Caesar Borgia? Holy shit! You know Caesar Borgia is the image of Christ.
No.
Yeah, look this up. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up right now. Okay, so here's a little classic thing, guys. This is where the show goes. I don't give a fuck. You guys tuned in for it. You paid nothing except for Zandy, so she's the only one that can say if we do this or not. So let me pull this up. Let me see. Okay, Caesar Borgia. So, have you ever listened to Liquid Swords by the Jizza?
Yeah.
All right, Caesar Borgia. So, if you listen to Liquid Swords by the Jizza, there's one track on the ending that's done by I think You God or whatever who does BIBLE, which is an acronym. Jizza Liquid Swords. Sorry, guys. I'm going on a tangent here, but trust me, I'm going somewhere with this.
Before the Medicis, like during the medieval times, the family that was doing that, their name was the Fuggers.
The Fuggers?
Yeah, Fugger. I guess it's Fugger, but Fuggers.
Are you fucking with me?
No, look it up. Jacob Fugger. Fugger.
Was the guy before the
Medicis, they were the like banking family that pretty much ran the world and funded everything.
I want to give you a pen because I had a notebook for us to make notes so we can get back to that. And
I have the notebook.
Yeah, the notebook, but I don't have the pen. That's the only problem.
Do you have like a needle? I could use my blood.
You could use your blood, or you know what? Go around the corner over there and see if there's something in the thing. If you don't see it right away, you can come back and you can use your blood. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I said Caesar Borgia. Where was I going with that, right? So in Jizza's Liquid Swords, he has a track at the end by Killa Priest called BIBLE, called Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, right? And then it goes, Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. Life is a quest, we test the universe. Through my research, I felt the joy and the hurt. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. The basic instructions before leaving Earth. And basically, apparently, it's Killa Priest, and he's the only one. Jizza doesn't have anything to do with this song. It's just basically Killa Priest just killing it, and he's talking about how the church is a big fucking scam, and it's so fucking dope. But what he says in one of the last lines is that the white image of Christ is really Caesar Borgia. And the second son of Pope Alexander. So if you look at Caesar Borgia, which I'm pulling up right now, let's look at what Jizza and Killa Priest were trying to instruct us on. So let me pull this up over here. We got the other stuff. Let me see. Let me see if that'll work. There we go. Holy shit! How'd that work? Okay, and it comes over here because that's what I wanted. Come on, guys. You're only half intuitive. All right, fuck it. There we go. There we go. Licensed image. All right, and it pulls back up over here. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's get it together. There we go. All right. So, look at this. This is Caesar Borgia. Does that look familiar?
Your own militant Jesus.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, black people have been hip to the fact that the white image of Christ that we know today was actually modeled after some of the richest families that we see today. This is crazy right here. Look at that. That's Caesar Borgia. And then, and if you don't believe me about the lyrics, go listen to the fucking song. I'm not going to get struck down for that shit. But this is the truth. This is what the Nation of Islam preaches, and this is why we need to venerate our black people.
Could you get copyright struck if you just word of mouth, like said all the lyrics?
I don't think I could.
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Oh, do it on Rap Genius so we can see. I want to see what they say. Like, what's their little blurb about what this means?
You know what? The fact that you're encouraging me to rap, it really means a lot over here. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't understand how much Alonzo loves just everything about hip hop culture. That's the reason that me and Bobby Smith are friends. And I had to really swallow my fucking pride over here because Bobby Smith wanted to put me on a New Faces show. And I've known Bobby Smith for like 12 years in comedy. It's like, why would you put me on a New Faces show? I must be I'm probably one of the oldest faces you know in comedy, Bobby. What are you talking about? You've seen my face. Not the oldest. I'm just saying, like, he's like, oh, you still want the newest faces. I'm like, well, Bobby, that's your own problem. You don't learn new faces if I'm the newest face.
What if he messaged you that you had won?
Bobby didn't message me. No, dude, Bob, see, here's the funniest shit. This is the lie. So Bob, this I'm saying, I had to really swallow my pride. This is the goofy shit. So Bob Sia, I don't know how you pronounce it. He's like, hey, Bobby saw you earlier this week and he wants to put you on a New Faces show. I'm like, first off, I know for a fact Bobby didn't see me earlier this week because we were at the same show that I could have only been seen by Bobby. Was Bobby there that night?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
think he was because I would have seen him because I was looking for him so I could ask him for some free tickets for the radio show. So I was looking for Bobby. So I'm like, Bobby didn't see me earlier this night. And then I asked him, hey, how much does it pay? And he started giving me shit like I was actually a new face. He's like, hey, don't be trying to do this for anything meritorious and all that. Like, I was like, dude, he's like, you probably met me before, but you don't remember me and all that shit. I'm like, have you met me or do you know me? What are you fucking talking about? It really did trip me out, but I had to swallow my pride because I'm like, yeah, I'd rather just do the fucking show and work on my Diddy shit and film it for once.
You know what you should have said is you're right, Bobby. I did get a haircut. This is a new face.
Bobby wasn't there. Bobby didn't hit me up at all. That's what I'm saying. Bobby never hit me up. This other guy's like, hey, Bobby saw you earlier this week, thinking that I was just a guy at open mic. Like, he's probably hitting me up, thinking that I was just a guy at open mic. He's like, hey, Bobby saw you earlier this week, and he wants you to be on the New Faces show. And so when I asked, oh, yeah, for sure, how much does it pay? What is it? Whatever. He's like, and then because in the chat, he's like, hey, you guys really need to show out and bring a lot of people out to this so we can have more shows like this. What, you mean more shows where I don't get paid? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, it was the funniest shit to me just because of that. Because I'm like, Bobby, like, first off, Bobby didn't see me and asked to put me on the New Faces show. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You probably asked him, hey, should I put it on the show? And he's like, oh, that's Alonzo. He'll fucking do it. He's good. Or maybe didn't even say that. Or like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just very funny to me. Maybe he was at the thing and he said, oh, Bobby saw you. I don't know.
I mean, I think. If I remember correctly, so you arrived a little late at the show because you got off work late or something, but
a little late at the show. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I remember Bobby being there at the beginning, but like by the time you arrived, I don't remember seeing Bobby. But that could mean he was like in a back room. I don't know.
That'd be dope. If Bob, I got to put the sheet over here because I got this zebra thing going on. But yeah, you know. Maybe Bobby did see me, and maybe Bobby was up in the up in the glass club room that we don't see, and he gave me the nod. He's just like,
It's like the first episode of The Wire. That strip club. I don't know.
but dude, that's what I'm saying. If Bobby did see me, and he's like, put him on the New Faces show. That's like, it's almost worse because I'm like, that doesn't even go with the whole fucking formula. Bobby knows how it goes. There's the New Faces show, and then there's the All Star show. I should easily be on the All Star show, but Bobby ain't gonna put a white man on the All Star show unless his name's Jeremy Brown.
Maybe you should spend a couple years in Detroit.
Maybe I should spend a couple years in Detroit.
They got a good football team this year. I don't know.
Thanks to Jeremy Brown.
He's reminding us.
Yeah. I like how the only reason Bobby's got Jeremy Brown on stage is because his last name is Brown. All right, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not trying to say anything else because Trump won, and I feel very bad that this whole country is so racist that they couldn't. Like, basically, here's how I feel. Anybody that voted for Trump voted against women, and they voted against black people. If you ask me, my honest opinion, I guess I'll if nobody else is gonna say it, I'll say it.
The party of Tony Hinchcliffe.
Dude, did you watch that fucking thing?
I guess so. Yeah,
I didn't watch it until after Trump won because I was I just didn't want to watch it. I don't like Tony.
I kind of I just zoned out. Like yeah.
What I didn't like about it, so I watched it. What I didn't like about it is that Tony came out to fucking UGK. I'm down in Texas where we run around with diamonds in our Lexus. I'm like, Tony, you were from LA. You fucking what are you talking about? First off, you're from Utah. You're not from Texas. You moved to, and first off, you're not even from Texas. You're from Austin, Texas. UGK, you're not Houston one bit. You're not fucking anything like that. Don't come out to fucking cool, dope ass music just because you're rich and popular and you're mean to people. You're a mean, catty, gay guy. You're not a tough guy. Nobody's afraid of you. Nobody's like, oh my God, Tony, they kiss your ass because maybe you can fucking put them over. Dude, did you see the interview where he literally said that the open micers, fucking William and all these people did more comedy than Bill Burr, Louis C.K., all these fucking actual comedians over because they're doing the Kill Tony shows, they put out more comedy content than Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, and then this podcaster is just like, wow, yeah, you're right, Tony Hinchcliffe, you're so right because you're on the roast and everybody, dude. That's what I hate about comedy is just people just licking the ass of the person that got to the top spot, and then also the person that got to the top spot not acknowledging the bullshit of it, and then I don't know. It's just like this human centipede kind of thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been maybe the most bittersweet thing. I'll say the mothership to me is for the most part a positive, but Kill Tony is extremely bittersweet.
I wouldn't even. Here's the thing, dude. As much as I like Joe Rogan as a dude that was a pioneer, I consider Joe Rogan a pioneer. You know what I mean? But I don't even know if he was necessarily
not for his comedy.
No, not for his comedy. Not for his comedy. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't respect Joe Rogan as a comedian. I respect him as a pioneer. And to a certain level, a broadcaster. You know what I mean? He obviously has a fucking huge love and respect for this shit.
He also has a patience. He's dealt with some pretty terrible guests, and the fact that I don't know. I've seen some Joe Rogans where it's almost like he has a good ability to turn his brain off and go autopilot when talking to someone.
But I think that's how Hollywood he is. I think he's probably been in a lot of fucking rooms or around a lot of people that has had to literally eat shit.
His power as an interviewer is when he's a blank canvas, is when he's just kind of bouncing generic questions at them and allowing them to talk in depth. It's the worst parts is when he's trying to insert his own opinion.
Well, that was my problem with the fucking podcast originally. I actually think I was kind of subconsciously going off the Joe Rogan thing, because like it stinks whenever I have a guest that I actually like, I'll do a lot of research on the interview and stuff, but it's like a lot of times I was just inviting comedians that I didn't even know that just wanted to do the thing, and I'm like, yeah, or even here's the thing, or comedians that I like but aren't necessarily aren't necessarily comfortable with like this format. They're great comedians, they're great stand-up comedians, they're great writers, but they're not like, radio people. And then I'm like, all right, now sit here for 2 hours and fucking, you know what I mean? As opposed to, but it's like, yeah, it's like the trick is have people that you actually care to talk to, that you actually want to listen to on, and then it's a lot easier to do that. You don't have to force it. I think that's where he was the pioneer. And also he's so rich that he could just do that, where he's like, oh, I can just, like, him doing podcasting wasn't a thing that he had to do. He was already independently wealthy from Fear Factor, and mostly all that was Fear Factor money. And then he got the UFC gig and shit. And yeah, he did comedy, but it almost seems like comedy and podcasting were passion projects, and then comedy, podcasting actually took off. You know what I mean? Like he never was like, damn, Joe Rogan made all his money off the comedy. He made all his money off of being like you said, a blanket bland host that can just turn his brain on autopilot.
Well, so like why I think the mothership is good, why I do think him being here is good. Right now, there's a lot of argument and discussion about whether being a Texas comic is viable for being a national comic. But here's my thing is I don't think that it's there yet. But I do think just the fact that this is now a conversation topic could snowball.
Well, no, because it's not based off of, that's what I'm saying. It's not based off actually building up a scene or building up a whatever. It's based off of Joe Rogan's celebrity and bringing in his celebrity friends and people going there as like a tourist thing. It's like a fucking Vegas thing.
But how do you think these places start? Like,
okay, you know what? You're right. You know what? I like that you're thinking globally. I like that. You're right. Because I mean, yeah. That could also lead to all that kind of other shit. But I mean, let's put it this way. How long has the mothership been here?
It's been here probably 3 years.
Have you really seen that much of a change? And let's say it this way. It could be economy based, honestly, because the economy has really tanked after the pandemic. And I think the reason that they moved over, another thing, I don't like that people moved to Texas as like we're the Mexico of the United States. I don't like that people have a lack of respect for Texas, and that's how I feel from fucking Tony Hinchcliffe and a lot of these California fucking shitty comedians. I think they'd rather be in New York, but they don't like the rules, or they'd rather be in California, but they don't like the rules, but they have to be in Texas. I don't fucking like that shit. I think Texas is like a fucking crown jewel of fucking United States, and we're one of the only sovereign like fucking countries and shit. New York couldn't fucking do what we do, and like they're not like, I mean, I guess they kind of could because they're a port city. That's like only the port cities can do that shit, but Texas has like, I don't know, man.
My hope, and I do think this exists to a degree, is that people can somewhat see through the transplants. I feel like that's somewhat happened.
Unless they're popular enough. That's the whole thing. It's like...
And there's definitely been some of them, but it's like, what? So Hans Kim and William Montgomery are transplants, but like Casey Rocket, I guess, was a guy here before. There's people, and there's people within the scene I know at least who were like, have done stuff at Mothership who were here before. And again, I don't think that it's like the end of this that I'm hoping for is that this Mothership is this make or break club. I just like that there's a lens on Texas before, because the way I felt before all of this was that if I actually wanted to ever be a viable professional comedian, then I would have to make the move to New York or LA.
You know what?
My hope is that the lens is at least here enough now that if I do well enough here, I could be seen without having to do that move.
And you know what? That's what I'm saying. You think globally. That's why I respect you. That's why I respect fucking Ryan Herrera so much, because it's like, but I respect you on a different level on that. Like when it comes to, I like that thought process. That is smart. And that, yeah, if you can create that kind of thing. The only problem with me is that I guess, and maybe it's just a fucking, what would you call it? It could be just an aesthetic issue. But I just hate the fact that it feels like they're bringing LA to Texas, and I don't like that because it brings all these fame chasing whatever people that don't like comedy, but they're just using comedy as as a way to get viral and then do whatever, like just to be famous. Like I hate this idea of like being famous just to be famous. And I feel like Kill Tony and the Mothership and this bringing LA to Texas is they're looking at Texas. They don't respect Texas. They don't give a fuck about Texas. In my opinion, they really don't. That's why they go to Austin, which is the most least Texas place of Texas, and then act like we're from Texas. Man, we can handle how Texas is. No, you can't, because you live in Austin, which is like the exact opposite of Texas. So don't create a little fucking safe haven, a little like stronghold in Austin. Use your money to then influence all this other shit and trick people into acting a certain way on this guise that they're maybe will get a little fucking chance, like in LA. That's why they're creating a little LA in Texas, and I don't fucking like that. We should actually run these fuckers out of town like the bushwhackers they are and shit, like the fucking Yankee ass venture capitalist pieces of shit that they fucking are. We really should run them out, but it's not going to happen because comedians are fucking opportunist pieces of shit. I think comedians are some of the worst like personality types because it's all the worst like clusters of narcissism, megalomania, bipolarity, fucking all this shit makes a very funny person. You know what I mean? But it's a bunch of mental illness and the veneration of it through fucking LA and fucking crazy ass media is not what Texas is about. But it's like, well, guess what? We can make that we can make our economy better. But it's like, well, actually, we don't need that to make our economy better. We just need some like a little bit less regulation, and we can actually make like, I don't know.
It's important to note, though. Well, I don't think a lot of them are coming from disingenuous places.
Aren't I from California too? I was born in Arizona, then I moved to fucking Puerto Rico, then I moved to St. Louis, then I moved to California, then I moved to Connecticut, then I moved to Texas, then I moved to Arkansas, then I moved back to Texas. And my parents are both born in Texas and both got married in San Antonio. And then they fucking got knocked up, and when they moved, they born me in fucking Arizona. But I was Texas made in one way or another.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at chat. Zandy's the only one talking. It's all good. Fuck him. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, fuck everybody.
Honestly, dude, Trump's president now. Do you know how sore my hand is from slapping women that have been talking to me wrong? I'm like, I haven't used my hand. I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Trump's president? I'm just laying the smack down. It's crazy.
I know this is gonna be. It's weird that this is a controversial take, but this is how I feel. I feel very indifferent
about what
this election. I felt very indifferent. I don't know.
I literally told Eric because I didn't feel anything until literally the election day when Trump started winning. And I'm like, holy shit, we could actually win this. And then fucking, and not even we, but I'm like, yeah, we could actually fucking win this. And then fucking, and then when I actually won it, here's my thing. My biggest problem with that is all the people that I know and that I love that hate Trump because they think that Trump is like Hitler or whatever, and that like that now every gay person is gonna be put in a fucking camp or some shit, or just like I don't know.
I have a little bit of a theory here that I do think there's some people who are like 2016. I think was a very pivotal moment in history, and then I think 2020 was like an extreme, even more so. And so I think there are still some people holding on to this idea that the world can go back to 2015, if that makes any sense. And
like a pre 9/11 America.
Yeah, almost in that sense. And that I think that like 2016 was the start of this transition, and then 2020 amplified everything.
Here's my thing. I think that people that voted for Trump want it to go to pre 2015, and the people that voted against Trump want it to go into futuristic land where we all fucking live in utopia and that we all fucking whatever. As I'm saying, it's like I think conservatism is trying to bring things back to Americana and American idealism. I think progressivism is this divisive, okay, like because every time the Democrats bring on and it's like, okay, we need to accept everybody. Well, this person now thinks they're a horse. We can't fucking dismiss them because they have valid feelings. And it's like when you make your entire fucking campaign based on validating everybody's feelings, there's not a lot of like you can't reach the common person when you fracture your fucking, party to a point that you're not reaching really anybody. It's like you're spreading yourself too thin.
But also, I guess there's just when you say you're gonna do
Are
something.
you native Texan, Tuttle? Chat's asking.
Oh no, I was born in Dallas and then moved here when I was 8.
So you're native Texan?
I'm native Texan.
Tuttle is a native Texan.
Yeah.
Albert
Ne-
Salazar.
never
You always
lived
watch you
anywhere
on
else.
Facebook. Heh. What does that mean, Albert Salazar? Eat my ass. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. I forgot what. Oh yeah, Trump stuff, the election.
Yeah. I was saying something about something.
So these fucking roads.
Well, yeah, you came in with a bunch of traffic.
Yeah, so San Antonio traffic, I think everybody can agree, has been pretty miserable for the past like almost year. But it feels like it's been getting worse. And I have a theory here that
Alright.
I think for a long time, a lot of these traffic projects are stuff that people have talked about doing in the city, and then just out of nowhere, they're able to do them all at once. And I think it's because we got a big defense contractor space in San Antonio. And so I think between the Ukraine and Israel war, we've made a fair bit of dough.
So you thinking that we should do what?
No, I just think that the reason we have so much construction right now is because there's an influx of money because of all the foreign wars that we're selling Boeing jets to.
But I mean, okay, you know what? Here's my thing. You'd be hard pressed to find a way for me not to hate on Israel, right? But isn't San Antonio traffic been bullshit since like San Antonio was invented?
I mean,
I bet like since there was
there's
the first wagon trail, people were like, "Oh, we're building another trail. You guys got to pull your donkey around."
downtown especially. So like downtown, the old stories that it's based off of horse trails. But even like this is like on the interstate outside of that. And this is just like they're doing every single fathomable construction project at once right now. So like even today, it's like Saturday midday and I-10-1604 is just completely blocked off because they're building roads.
You know what? Here's the thing too. Honestly, if they did come out and they're like, "Hey guys, guess what? We're gonna have shitty traffic for the next," and guess what? Just add the next. Let's add 15, minutes, and maybe they can even try to subsidize the gas and shit like that for it. But for the next, they couldn't do it. I'm trying to think of like how long people would put up with that, like the average dumb person. Because like I'm thinking a year and a half, but it's like, nah, that ain't gonna work. So it's like you gotta be like 9. What sounds like close to?
Now here's my real point. How is Boeing the top manufacturer of fighter jets and commercial planes, yet still, if you go to a show at the Boeing Center, beers are $20?
Because how do you think they pay for the planes? I hate the fucking, because I know that you're trying to save me there. But my point is, do you think that there could be a set amount of time that people would be like, you know what? We can put up with this bullshit, but we can actually create enough infrastructure that like, it's like once we're done, we created like the 8-lane highway and we're good because we put up with it.
I think to a degree they try to do that, but people are used to it. Those estimations not being accurate, being significantly less than what actually happens. But even then, like I think there's a big issue of like Saturday midday construction, like for in some of the busiest parts of the road. I don't get how doing that shift, like, there has to be commerce lost in the traffic created. So I can't see how doing that shift.
That's why they do it on Saturday, because
But I
it would be
think we-
commerce on Monday through Friday.
But that's why I'm fine with like because of comedy, I get stuck in weekday night traffic all the time because of this construction. But I understand that, or at least I understand why they're doing that then. Saturday at noon just seems like you're asking for it.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hello. Hello, everyone. How's it going?
How you doing, boss man? How's it going?
Guess who? It's the Joey Fatone of the episode of Friends called The United States. What can I say? How we doing, friends?
I don't know. I'm doing pretty good.
For
I'm
a
the
second, I thought it
special
was
guest
Dan
that
Zam doing a
shows up.
victory lap.
No, here's a weird thing.
Ah,
Trump, you know what? I got a bone to pick with you, buddy. You know what?
sorry. Hold on. Listen. I said Joey Fatone, and I would never lie to my people. I meant Joey Tribbiani. I would never have misused the name of Joey Fatone actively to undermine this election. So please, I want to make it straight. For the record, I meant Joey Tribbiani, not Joey Fatone. How dare you, me? Hello.
Is Joey? That's the character's name from Friends, right?
That's right. I was trying to make a reference. Thank you very much. I was trying to make a Friends reference, and I said Joey Fatone, and I say I'm not going to be like Kamala. I'd never do that. I wouldn't lie to you. I would never lie to you.
Joey Fatone and Joey Tribbiani are they're almost like cultural opposites. One is the least liked of his group, and one is the most beloved.
And one is the least gay, and one is the most gay. Do you understand?
What am I missing here?
I feel like they're
Wait a
both
second.
pretty
So,
gay.
well, I was doing the music. So Joey Fatone from dude. Why are you hating on Joey Fatone, Trump? What the fuck?
Look, I don't have anything against Mr. Fatone. I would never speak poorly on Fatone. But
You
what I
just
did
spoke
was
poorly on Fatone on my goddamn show.
Listen to me. I'm speaking. How dare you?
Oh my god!
Listen.
Hey, President-elect Trump, can you do a Joey Tribbiani "How you doing" impression?
Let me try. Hold on. Let me get into the headspace of 2004's Joey Tribbiani. Hello. Hold on. How you doing?
Holy shit, dude!
Ooh.
You know what?
Pretty good.
He's our guy. He's our guy again.
What can
That's
I
why
say?
I voted for you 10
I took
times.
classes at the Second City. What can I say?
Donald Trump, you know what? I have a bone to pick with you. I don't like the way that you have venerated Dan Zam, on my show, because I did a lot
Dan
of.
Zam.
I worked really hard to have you on my show to kind of expose your ways, and then I had Dan Zam on to expose everything, but it feels like it's only worked against me. I've only venerated you.
Absolutely. You bit the hand that feeds you. Look,
Yeah.
I can tell you right now that it's when I was talking to Zelensky on the phone, it was Elon Musk and Dan Zam. They were there with me. We were talking through how we're going to end this thing, and Dan had a lot of very interesting things to say about the vaccine, and I thought, that's very good. That's very helpful. Thank you very much, Dan.
Yeah.
And it was great because no one could get a word in edgewise. He wouldn't stop talking, and I said, that's the kind of guy I need in my cabinet.
I've been saying Secretary of Education for Dan Zam for a while now.
Oh, fuck.
Absolutely. Secretary of Uneducation. You understand. That's what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to get rid of the Department of Education, and I figure, who's the better guy to do it than a troll on San Antonio Facebook? What can I say?
Honestly, have you seen Dan Zam's Haitian cat eating video? He could be Secretary of State.
Really?
He knows what's going on.
Well, first
Is
off,
he bad? Is he bad on Puerto Ricans?
Hey, Trump, here's my thing. How many times have I had you on my fucking show?
I don't know, like 5, 7 times, something like
5,
that.
7 times. Try 5 or 17 times. What are we talking about? And I've had Dan Zan promoting your fucking bile. And then did I get one fucking shout out during the acceptance speech? What the fuck's going on, man?
No, just Dana White and
Yeah. I didn't get one invite. You didn't even tell me that you had rigged this shit for yourself this time. You didn't tell me that you put the extra points in this time. Like, you didn't give me any kind of heads up.
Listen, I told the guys who were doing MSG, I said, I want my opener to be Alonzo Cantu, but they said, no, we need someone a little more well-known. We need somebody a little gayer. And I said, well, who do you have? And they said, we'll have that Tony Hinchcliffe. And I said, do it. Do the Tony. But I wanted you, Alonzo. I wanted you to open for me because I felt like you could bridge the gap. You understand? Bridge the gap between Nazis and other Nazis. You understand?
Dude, seriously, honestly, I would have fucking murdered that shit over Tony Hinchcliffe. I would have had the right amount of anti-Semitism, the right amount of fucking hatred against fucking every race. Like, dude, it would have been so nuanced that nobody could even got mad about it. Dude, I probably would have gotten you probably would have won by 400 if I had done that shit. You have no idea.
And then because of your Puerto Rican roots,
yeah.
Because of your Puerto Rican roots, you probably could have even done that same joke, and it would.
I would have had. Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, dude, they couldn't even get mad at me. They'd be like, Alonzo's actually lived in Puerto Rico, so they'd be like, damn, he's actually better than Tony Hinchcliffe because he's also not gay.
Oh,
look at that!
I'm burping. Trump, come on, guy. Dude, you have no idea how upset I am. I didn't even want to do a show this weekend. I didn't want to do a show this weekend because you fucking won, and I've been working behind the scenes to take you down with my best friend Sam Haney, who has not been having a good time on fucking Instagram. It's been like,
you son of a bitch.
He's become,
I listen.
Yeah.
I became the president specifically to ruin the lives of little soy boys like Sam, and I also do it because I love these scary black guys and these scary Mexican guys like Dan Sam. I love those guys. They're the best. And I don't like the soy boys. I don't like them. So I told Elon, I said, make it happen. And he made it happen. And here I am. And all they can do is cry. They can cry. And you know what I'll do with their tears? We will clean the pedophiles. We will fix the creeps. We will do it all. We're going to take the tears of the soy boys and we're going to cleanse these pedophiles out of the White House. You understand?
Isn't that a good thing?
Put the soy boy tears in a SpaceX rocket for the aliens to find.
That's right. We're gonna put a time lapse camera on a Tupperware of tears, and we're gonna shoot it into Orion's belt or something. We're going to do incredible things. People aren't thinking about what we could do. We could do a lot of cool Looney Tunes shit. You understand? I've been talking with the team at Warner Brothers and the Hanna-Barbera Corporation, and we have been talking about calling everything that I make something that Acme did. You understand? And we'll have we'll have a bird, we'll have a mouse, we'll have a bunny, we'll have a duck, we'll have it all.
The SpaceX Grand Piano Anvil program.
Hey,
Just
Trump.
drop random grand pianos and anvils across America.
Well, instead of the MOB, it would be the GPOB. The grand piano of all bombs. I don't know. So
absolutely.
Trump. So chat's asking, what is Trump wearing right now? Xander Ramirez, you fucking.
Wow. Who asked?
That was Xander Ramirez, dude. I don't know.
That's wonderful. Some native Mexican girl. I love her. I'll tell you right now, I'm wearing a suit up top and I am wearing absolutely nothing underneath. JD Vance is right now licking my asshole like a bowl of whipped cream. He is cleaning me out. What can I say?
Hey, Trump.
That guy is wild. Yes?
Honestly, what happened to the Cthulian creature? What happened with that? Chat's not asking about it, but I'm asking about it. What happened with that whole situation?
I don't know why you're bringing this up. Jeff and I had a falling out, and I'm absolutely disappointed that you have brought him up. I feel as though you secretly want me to build another bridge with my Cthulian friend, but I could never do that after what he did. He voted for you know, Kambabla. And I said, don't do it. And he said, I will. And I said, don't do it because you're not going to like what's going to happen. And he said, I never would. And then I unfriended him on Instagram. So look at that.
Who did you
The Cthulhu. See? This is such a obvious that John Tuttle has never listened to the old episodes. This is an old school classic Donald Trump callback that he used to have a Cthulhuan creature as a vice president.
Oh,
I know. See, here's the thing.
I wrote down HP Badcraft.
Wow, that's good.
That's some good shit.
That's good.
That's some good shit. And what's some? Yeah, and what the fuck?
But Tuttle, I just recently got rid of, I threw a Harcanian silver sword into a magma lava flow because don't you understand that if I keep holding on to it and Jeff, the Cthulhuan creature, finds out, he will re-erupt from the tidal shores of the Pacific and he will wreak havoc, and we just cannot have that. Do you understand?
I thought he was your
California
friend.
already has a lot going on, and I cannot have Jeff going in, shooting fire, shooting electricity. I can't have him doing that. You understand?
What if he killed Gavin Newsom in the process?
Wow, that sounds like a great idea.
Maybe you should release it. Maybe you should just release him only on California. You could take out Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi.
You know what I'll do? Look at that. You know what I'll do? I have the tome of the undead here. I'm going to read just a small portion, and I will direct my powers towards Gavin Newsom. So give me one moment while I read from the tome of the undead.
Could you make a Cthulhu barrier around California?
I'm not going to. I'm opening the barrier. He's coming. One moment. Hold on. All right, that's all I needed to say. Now, look, if you are living in California and you're listening to this, I recommend you go subterranean because Jeff is on his way.
I liked that the spell kind of sounded like Nicki Minaj's verse in Monster.
Absolutely.
Trump, you know what? I love
Yes,
you.
sir.
I want
I
to
love you too.
congratulate you, and I want to talk to your biggest enemy, Sam Haney, after this shit because I need to call up Albert Salazar because this motherfucker posted something in my chat that really bummed me the fuck out, and I'm gonna try to get a hold of this motherfucker. All right.
Sounds good. Wonderful. Well, it's been a pleasure talking at all of you, and I'm hoping that we will do great things over the next 85 years.
Thank God,
It's
dude.
been a
Seriously,
pleasure
dude.
getting
You have no idea how like embarrassing it's been to be like nice to all these minorities and women, just knowing that you are eventually going to take your true throne as the rightful ruler of the universe. And so, you know, I've been working behind the scenes against you because I got to cover my ass and stuff. But you know, obviously, this is what we all wanted. So I appreciate you.
What can I say? I sit on a mountain of bones. So it's been wonderful. But we're looking into it, and I cannot wait to see all of you on January 6th, 2032.
It's the last election. We never have to vote again. Dude, that's going to be so easy for me, dude. I don't have to vote anymore. I just know every year it's Trump.
We're
And then
safe.
it's fucking Trump Jr. Then it's fucking Trump Jr. And then it's gonna about to be this motherfucker.
Remember what I said to you at upstage? I said he's about to Grover Cleveland.
Yeah, dude, it was so funny that you said that actually, because after he won, I literally brought that up to somebody, and I was like, he's about to because they said, oh, he's gonna be the first person to ever do that. And I'm like, actually, no, Grover Cleveland did that before. John Tuttle told me that.
It would have been the 1890s. He was like the guy before Teddy Roosevelt.
Albert Salazar, you pick up the goddamn phone. This motherfucker HEH'd in my chat. He said this. He said, y'all, I was watching on Facebook. Heh. This is my own problem. I can't keep a show fun. I gotta turn it into a fucking battle of hostility.
Yeah, I'm not sure if calling out any audience member who seems like they're having an all right time to get them on the line to ask them why.
And ask them why
are you fucking with us?
Yeah, why are you fucking? Hey, what's your problem? What the fuck? I mean, what you gonna tell? Here's the thing. I'm not customer service for you, bitch. What are you fucking talking about? Oh, it's like, here's the thing. Tell me what you want to talk about. And that's it. Or say, God damn, you're killing it, Tuttle. That's all you gotta say. Don't tell Alonzo he's killing it. I know I'm fucking killing it. What do you say? Dude, can you believe a motherfucker said this shit to me? What do you say? What the fuck did this motherfucker say? Dude, did he delete his fucking comment? No, here you go. Yo, period. I was watching on Facebook. Heh.
But I guess what was wrong with Facebook? Why'd you come over here?
Well, I think we're on Facebook. I mean, I don't know what it means.
I saw that comment on YouTube.
All right, I don't think it's loud as fuck. I'm sorry. I want to talk about the Warblers. All right, Zanny Ramirez, call in and talk about the goddamn Warblers. Please, you have my number?
Is that like those dots that you just add water to?
Dude, I don't know. Are those, in your eyes? What's that?
No, like the little, I don't know, like gummy ball? I don't know.
Is that what they are? Let's find out. Let's find out what
Just
these
add water,
are.
and they get big.
All right, well, we were talking about Killer Priest earlier. This is a throwback to the people that were actually watching the beginning. All right, so.
Oh, I guess warbler is a type of songbird.
She wants to talk about the Warblers. All right, I'm down with that.
I'm pretty sure that's the bird I heard at West Cave outside of Austin, if you want to hear some warblers.
All right. I strolled through the books of Job to unfold and open Bibles instead of hoping on revivals, calling on his name in the scripture, calling on his name and screaming hallelujah when he hardly knew you. That's how the devil fooled you. See, look into my eyes, brethren. That's the lies of a reverend. Why should you die to go to heaven? Greatest line ever. Oh my God. Why should you die to go to heaven? The earth is already in space. The Bible I embrace. That's what I'm saying. God created heaven already.
Look at the
death cult that's convincing you that you have to die on this earth to fucking go to heaven. God already created heaven. We're already in heaven. We're already in heaven. All right, I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh, no, look at the next highlighted line, and you wonder why Trump did well with black men.
What do you say? Where's the next one?
The next highlighted line, women with wicked minds.
Well, that's not okay. 1 second. Let me see. So, but you're leaving out the context. Don't be a fucking liberal over here, John.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let me see. A difficult task I had to take. Sam K. Haney. 1 second. My best friend and co-host Sam K. Haney's calling in. This is crazy.
Oh.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, pal?
All right, 1 second. Let me just read this to you real quick. 1 second.
Okay.
I know this is so corny, and I hate to have to do this, but these people need to know. So check this out. I studied till my eyes were swollen, and only a rose win. I found out that we were the chosen, and that's how my black people. I deal with the truth and built with my youth, and teach my son as he kneels on the stoop. Son, life is a pool of sin. This is actually my favorite line. Son, life is a pool of sin, corrupted with foolish men and women with wicked minds who build picket signs to legalize abortion, the evil eye extortion. That's not my favorite part. I love the line, son, life is a pool of sin, corrupted with foolish men. That's my all-time favorite line. Son, life is a pool of sin.
The abortion line is just the
men.
cherry on top.
Well, I just think that's what you said. That's the evangelistic fucking and women with wicked minds who build picket signs to legalize abortion.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The people that believe that abortion is wrong, they don't believe that like women shouldn't have a fucking voice. They believe that you're like killing a baby. You know what I mean? 1 second. I want to get you on the line with fucking Albert Salazar. Give me 1 second. Hey, Albert.
But you called. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did call. So you're up in my chat saying, yo, period. I was watching on Facebook. Heh. What does that mean?
Oh, I was watching on Facebook, then I switched over to YouTube to join the chat, but then
I got busy getting after my mom for not taking her medicine. So
What does
Yeah,
that mean? Why would you say HEH?
oh hey, like haha. I guess I forgot the extra haha.
See, I was telling Alonzo not to do this, that this would be aggressive. Do you feel aggressed?
Aggressed? No, I don't know.
Okay, never mind then.
I
So
don't feel
keep doing it.
aggressed. Do I feel
Yeah, no,
aggressed?
he
No.
feels put in his place. He feels appreciated. Oh,
Oh,
good. I want you to
yeah.
know, next time you're in my chat, I appreciate it. Thank you.
What?
I appreciate you as a
Oh,
person.
I appreciate you.
I
No,
love you, dog. I fucking
I-
love you.
I love you too, man. I
Good.
really do.
Good.
All right.
Good. Good.
No. No,
All right.
What did you think I meant? But I was like, I
What I
wasn't
think
watching
you
on
meant?
Facebook.
What I think you meant? Huh.
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 Oh,
Yo,
no.
I was watching
What?
you on
No, man,
Facebook. Huh.
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 No, there was no. Huh? It was
It's
more like a. Huh?
HEH. What's it? Let's look at it together. John, do you see this shit?
What the fuck you want to do? You want to put ha ha? Like what?
HEH. Huh.
No.
Huh. H-E-H.
What is? Well,
How
let's
do you pronounce? One second. You know what? You know what?
go to
You know
Urban
what?
Dictionary. What does Urban Dictionary
No,
say
let me
about?
just pull this shit the fuck right up. One second, because I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be treated like a guy that takes things too seriously. You know,
Yeah.
that's not me.
Mm,
Salazar.
no.
Does that sound like me?
Yeah.
It ain't never been me in my
No.
fucking life, dog. All right, so let's look at this shit.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Where are we at?
Mm.
Where's Albert Salazar? Let's find him in the. Oh, there he is, right there. Look at this right here.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Uh-huh.
What does this say right here, Tuttle? Do you see this shit?
Yo, I was watching on Facebook. Huh.
Huh.
Yeah.
What does that
Hey.
even mean?
It means I was watching on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, look, Sandy's in the chat, so let me jump over to YouTube."
What
fuck?
was it? What was it? But there's these 3 letters at the end. You know, and here's the thing. You might think that 3 letters
Yeah.
don't mean a lot. Well, let's think about 3 letters that mean a lot, right? KKK, right?
Yeah.
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 FBI, CIA,
Hmm.
ABC,
Uh,
LMNOG.
BBD, Boys to Men.
All right, one second. We got to the bottom of this. Hey, how's it going, Sam?
Yeah, hey, Albert.
Oh no, I didn't merge it. I'm sorry. I just hung up on him.
Oh, okay.
He bummed me out.
Oh no.
Do you have a message for him?
Yeah, you have
Well,
something
I
to
was
say
just
to him?
gonna say, like,
did something wrong?
I think
say,
he,
like,
I think he
Albert.
fucked up my whole fucking shit. What are you talking about?
No, I
I'm
was
tired.
gonna
I'm
say-
tired of having people in my life that ain't down to ride for the boy, dog.
I was gonna say, Albert, where the fuck do you get off?
That's what I'm fucking saying.
The views
I
and
was
opinions
gonna
expressed.
say, I was gonna say, hey, Albert, we can dump you just like we're dumping the center-left Democrats. We can dump you just the way we're about to dump supporting Ukraine. We could dump you.
You
just the way
support
we're gonna
Ukraine?
dump the
What do you support
Palestinians.
Ukraine about? What the fuck has Ukraine ever done for you?
I'm not speaking on behalf of myself. I'm speaking on behalf of the American people that want to say to Albert, watch your fucking mouth.
Good, dude. Let's put, dude.
Let's
Honestly,
put Dan, Sam, and Albert in an octagon and lock the door.
here's my thing. I feel like it's now Dan Haney and fucking Sam Zam. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense? Is that blowing anybody else's mind right now?
Yeah,
Dude, this election was like a Freaky Friday.
Dude, honestly.
We're Cronenberging together. We're like melting into this like.
It's like you guys are becoming your ultimate forms. It's crazy. Like Dam's like so peaceful. He hasn't sent me one fucking message since
Me
Trump won.
fucking
And
neither,
Sam's just
dude.
like constantly like, look at the things the Republicans are doing. I'm like, why? How did this happen? What's going on?
Welcome to the next 4 years,
I'm like,
buddy.
what? It's so crazy. Yeah, it's insane. And then like Sam, I've seen Sam getting fatter. And he's like on a motorcycle. It's crazy. And Dan's just like working out. He's like, you know what? I'm getting married in Arkansas.
My facial hair gets thinner and thinner.
Thinner and grayer.
My teeth are slowly turning into chiclets. Dude, I totally see it. It is really funny that like he's good went so hard on both of our DMs, and I'm sure other people's as well. I'm sure Warren Greed was having his shit blown up by Dan Zam, and now all of a sudden he is completely ready. Dude, the photo he sent when Trump won, the photo that he put on his Facebook
What was
page
it? I didn't see.
is
No, it
the
wasn't. Let me
gayest
see that.
photo. It
What
is
is
so
it?
gay.
One
It
second.
looks like he's trying to like apply for like Trump Kauai or something. It's crazy.
Was it the
dude.
one in the like newsy hat?
It's like a cute little smile, and he has his fist up, and then it's like stars and stripes around him, and he's wearing his little hat. It is very kawaii. It is very cute.
All right, let me see. Is it on?
Dude,
is it on his
the
Facebook
Kawhi
page?
Dan Zam
Oh,
period.
the one with the hat with the gun in the air.
No. It's him with like it's him with like his fist up, like
No, that
cute
one.
little smile.
That's pretty cute.
Dan Zam Chan.
One second. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm gonna save this one and put this on fucking. I'm gonna put this one on Facebook for sure. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah,
this is
it's
fucking great. 1 second. How
It's
can I
so-
fucking? Yeah, I don't want the.
Yeah.
I don't want the little. There we go. That's perfect. All right.
He's
But-
just such a sweetie pie, you know. I love it. I love
When
it.
did Trump
You're right,
win?
it's
Where
so
can I
right.
find the Dan Zam? Oh, the one with his fist up, with the fist up in the little American. Yes,
Yeah.
is this super
Yeah.
kawaii?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let me try to
Just
send
put
this to
some
myself.
anime eyes on that one.
1 second. Let me just try
Dude,
to.
his
1 second. I'll
cheeks
put it.
need
1
to be
second.
pink.
Tell me if.
Dan Zam Chan. Dan Zam Chan. Dan Zam Chan. Dan Zam Chan.
Definitely posting that shit. That's some good shit. I'm posting that
It's-
one with the fucking gun.
Oh, and
Yeah,
there's gotta be some good like kawaii anime Trumps that you could like put or
as a
around
little
the
like
border.
Yeah.
little sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually,
there's like
you know, I
that
probably
Kawhi.
could.
There's like that Kawhi Ted Cruz where he looks like a little baby.
I
and
could
it's
use
like
this
they use-
Diamond Hands logo guy. That would be perfect.
Yeah,
Or was it Wall Street Bets guy? That guy? That's a good.
yeah. There you go.
Let's see. This is
Anyway, so
perfect.
you're right. Like the world is completely upside down, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
You gotta stop being
Are you
upset.
happy being angry?
Sam, yeah, stop being upset. Like, why you want to be Dan Zam? Stop it.
I want to feel power, and I have so little now.
I know
you
it's
like-
impotent rage. Stop it. It makes me
Yeah.
feel bad. Dude, honestly, my first reaction was like, oh, I gotta screen cap this so we could bring this up. But then it was just nonstop. That I was like, I was like, I don't want to do that anymore because I felt bad. I'm like, come on, man, it's not a fucking big deal. Well, now immigrants aren't gonna get money anymore. Come on, stop it. And also, trans people aren't gonna get fucked over. They just don't get to fucking get what's happening to trans
Here-
people again?
I mean,
Here's the only silver lining I have in my heart is that in 2016 Trump had a trifecta government and not a lot of shit happened. So like even with the majority of the three
Yeah.
tiers of government, he couldn't accomplish that much. I just fear that like Project 2025 is a real thing that he actually is going to be
Well,
instituting, and those guys are extreme as shit, and they want shit to happen.
here's the
they-
whole
they
thing,
are
Sam.
like-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like here's my thing too. It's like, so first off, when it comes to I'm sorry, go finish your point. I didn't want to interrupt. Go. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like the people around him, the kind of the ecosystem around him has really matured, and I think that they really know and understand what they want more than they did when he first got elected. Because it was almost like the joke was he accidentally got elected, and he's like, "Oh shit, I have to be president. I don't really have a plan." But I think over the last 8 years, or now, I mean 4 years, he's had that time to work with people and gestate and take in people like Elon Musk and take in people who are as extreme as can be and are activated to do stuff. It's just, that's to me is the scary part.
All
It's
right.
not really Trump. Like, I don't give a fuck about Trump. He is harmless. It's the people around him that scare the shit out of me.
All right,
you
let
know?
me put it this way. So
Give it to me.
actually, I just have you know what? I'm glad that I wrote this down because this is my problem. Because so my first thing is that conservatism, the first rule of conservatism is not trying to do radical change and shit. So it's usually about trying to keep like the status quo and stuff. So that's like one of the main things is like being like, oh man, they're gonna do all this crazy ass shit. That's like
I'm status
anti-conservatism.
ho.
Yeah, it's like I think they're gonna like actually enforce the laws that we. Thank you, Doug. Thank you for adding a little sex appeal. I think they're gonna like enforce the laws we already had, and like kind of shut down those like kind of like fringe programs. The second thing is that I think Trump won the first time, like you said. I think the Trump won the first time is because there was a lot of people that were accelerationists and really upset with the system that were down with bringing down Trump. I think that that when the Democrats won, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get the stream taken down for this. I think there was a little bit of fucking fuckery there, one way or the other. In my opinion, I could be in the minority of thinking that, but also I think that there was just a fucking onslaught of propaganda that made people like just upset that they like had to have Trump as a president one way or the other. Like I was upset that Trump was a president even though I liked him because it's just like I'm tired of just hearing all this negative fucking shit. It's just like they're punishing people for voting one way by just inflicting all this fucking punishment on them one way or the other, in my opinion. And I think that the only reason he won the other time is because the economy was so fucking bad and everything was going so fucking bad and so goddamn dystopian in a Ted Kaczynski man-made horrors beyond your comprehension kind of way that like
that's extreme.
Well, in my opinion, it's like, well, they've had
dystopian is a reach, but that is what his campaign would want you to believe.
Well, it's not what here's dude. I wasn't even into fucking. Well, it's so funny that you think I'm a Dan Zam kind of guy. I actually like you. You can talk to me. I almost didn't vote this year. I was so tuned out of politics and shit this whole last fucking 4 years because I didn't give a fuck. I didn't watch any of the right shit or left shit really. Like really.
But I mean, that's not good either. Like,
why? Why does it matter? It really doesn't matter. Because I'm saying is like, all I can know is how things are fucking affecting me. And I see that the economy is going to shit. Fucking groceries are going up. We're spending all this fucking money on these stupid ass wars. Oh, all these wars are really kicking up within the past 4 years that the Democrats are in office. Yeah, I can kind of put two and two together. I mean, I'm not fucking an idiot.
I
really want to read a biography on Grover Cleveland now.
I think that it's easy to see all that and compile it together as being the responsibility of one person, when I think if you really look at what happened to the economy is what happened to the global economy due to COVID. But that's that deeper look.
Well, I think there's a lot of fucking things
going
about
on that doesn't just sprout from
well,
conspiratorial.
okay. Well, let me give you an exact example. What about the fucking whatever pipeline? They shut that down the second that Biden got into office, and that would have helped us out a shitload. Whatever I forget what it's called, but it's some kind of pipeline project that would have actually made a lot of jobs.
The horny pipeline.
The fucking big dick fucking sex pipeline. Yo, that's what I'm all about, dog.
That's the pipeline I want going under my house.
But they shut that shit down, and they made us fucking
to the major points I'm making.
Well, it isn't. No, because it's like an economy point. Trust me. When gas becomes cheaper, when we create a pipeline that's going to make cheaper gas and also create more jobs and stuff, that's going to not only bring down groceries and all these other kinds of things, because everything is dependent on transportation and transporting goods. So when gas goes up, everything goes up. And when we get into a war with Russia and we decide to not fucking buy cheap Russian oil, and we also decide not to drill for our own oil, you know what I mean? That's going to have a big effect on our own economy. And if people want to fucking ignore that because of whatever idealistic reason, then they're just digging their head in the sand. But if you actually create policies and go into war policies that...
Between the Ukraine and this country, the Biden administration hates pipelines. I'm a fucking skater. I need that shit to shred.
Thank you very much. Thank you, John Tuttle.
Or could it be empty so you can at least do like a half to whole pipe move, you know?
Ooh.
Like
what if I get to the end of the pipeline and it shoots out oil and that gives me like a boost?
Or like that helps you finish, that you get the last E on skates.
Yeah, I do a trick. I do a trick in the air and then I land.
I hate my face right now. It looks like an angry baby, and I have this like light on this side, so I think I look extra evil right now, which is great. I'm like, yes, Sam, yes. Go on.
I think the whole pipeline thing you're talking about is like an oversimplification of the entire economy. and
Well,
the
like
global
look at the
economy,
shit that
which are
Trump.
not affected by whether or not one pipeline in the U.S. goes up. I
Well,
think
look at
that's-
this thing.
I got my pipeline.
I got my immigrants. I got my fucking.
I got my black gold coming from
God
the
damn,
ground.
you have complete pipelines. Do it to me every time.
I'm just saying, if you just look at all the shit that Biden, when he got elected, like repealed of Trump shit, that's all the things that made the economy suck, in my opinion. But I mean, it's like we can get into arguments about that, but it's like I think that's his nuance. I'm saying that like when we make the country easier to get gas and make things move around, then prices go down on everybody. Like everything goes down. Being able to transport things, being able to manufacture things, because it's all based off of that.
Our boy Elon is the one that's spearheading the the e-vehicle movement. So like, what do we do with that?
Well, that's fine. That's
How
good.
is that?
Well, that's going to be the future because eventually, like the thing is, like fossil fuels are a finite resource, and also they do have a fucking certain kind of impact.
There you go.
Yeah, but here's the thing, dude. You can't. Okay, well, so there you go. What? It's like there's a reality of what we live in.
Fix things. It's
Sam,
not reality.
but there's a reality of where we live in, and there's an idealistic reality that we can sell to people, and then fucking short sell like this society. It's like, yeah, there are better things that we can work towards, and I think the easier way to do that is to make a lot of surplus money so we can invest in those things. And it's actually altruistic capitalism, because trust me, I think the people that are putting the most money into alternative fuel sources are the people that own all the fuel sources, because they want to keep on owning all the fuel sources. So they're probably the ones that are putting the most science, the most money, and all that shit into not only developing new resources, but also, maybe shitting on the other ones that they don't own, which I mean is just the nature of business. But I also think that the increase of capitalism and the money that they can spend to try to make their businesses better may ultimately benefit us, except for when it comes to that dystopian, let's reduce free speech shit. Let's fucking try to make everybody feel guilty about stuff. So we're like, oh, well, I might not have as much money now, but I'm glad a bunch of immigrants in New York get fucking debit cards and fucking hotels so they can figure out how to get jobs in New York. Where I'd like a job in New York. If I got a debit card in a hotel, I'm pretty sure I can fucking pass at a comedy club after a couple months. These guys can't even pass at one comedy club after fucking months in New York. What the fuck is up with that?
Alonzo, I think your viewpoint's pretty much
aligned with yours. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
So I was looking at
100%. Sam Haney is saying he endorses Alonzo.
And since you endorsed Dan Zam,
exactly.
Just the words out of my mouth.
Sam can say. I know he's saying Alonzo. I love that shit.
Alonzo, you're a little too. We're very much on different ends of the coin there. I don't tend to agree that.
He's pissing right now.
I love it. I get to talk uninterrupted from him because
okay, go for it. I'll try to summarize what you're saying. He has a copy of the Godfather in Japanese in his room, and that reminded me of remember when Shinzo Abe got killed by a 3D printed gun? That was so dude,
that was crazy. And but he was also like in an intersection just chilling. Dude. He was like on an Apple box in an intersection talking to like poor people, and then they just killed him.
Do you think like oh hell yeah because they read it like the opposite way, like you start on the other page.
It's fucking weird. I love it.
Or some shit.
I'm gonna put that up in the background eventually. I love it. It's like so cool to me. I love the Godfather.
Man.
What is Sam fucking yapping about?
Oh, we're just talking about Shinzo Abe getting fucking murked in the Japanese streets by a 3D printed gun. Do you think that the model for that 3D printed gun is now like this is the model that killed Shinzo Abe?
Oh, like the Walter P.P. Carson shit?
Yeah, like that'd be really cool.
I definitely hope they have it in some museum that people can check it out.
What did they just put it in the Auschwitz Museum? not exactly the same history, but just pretty shitty events.
No, they put it in. They take pieces of it and put it in different historical tragedy, places like 9/11 gets a part of it. It's like, you know what it is? It's like the Berlin Wall. Like there's pieces of Berlin Wall everywhere. There should be a Shinzo Abe gun in like every museum in the world.
I want to 3D print the gun, but then I'm just gonna put it in like a case and be like,
Sam,
that's the gun that killed Shinzo Abe.
what were you even talking about? What were you disagreeing with me with? I don't even understand. God damn it! I can't even hear you, Sam. What are you doing? Give me 1 second. Why can't I? Oh, Sam, I got it. 1 second. That's so weird. All right, I can hear you now.
I didn't say we disagreed. I said that your lens is pretty narrow to just like, oh, well, oil not being expensive will fix everything. And it just feels like very
Are you saying that? Okay, whoa. I didn't say it'll fix everything, but you best fucking believe that it will help fix a lot of shit. Because that's gonna fucking free up so much capital for every common person.
I disagree. During Trump's era, we stopped taking oil from other countries and we were producing a surplus, which we didn't
during
give away
Trump's
to other
era.
countries.
What are you talking about? Like, yes.
How did that fix things?
What was it? So are you saying that during Trump's economy, it was a worse economy than it is now?
No, I'm saying that thing that you think is the positive did take place. What changed?
What, having cheaper gas?
What got better?
What do you mean? What got better? What are we talking about, Sam? Like, in what quantifiable?
Going through puberty.
Yeah, I mean, like, what quantifiable thing do you mean? Like, but I mean, like the fact that things were cheaper, that we had more disposable income. Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, I think that's better, don't you think? Like, the only thing that was bad was the this constant assault by the media that everything was bad. The only time that I ever thought anything was bad was when I watched the mainstream media that said everything sucks because Trump tweeted a thing. Trump tweeted, he called a fucking bitch fat. Everybody needs to be mad now. Everybody needs to be angry because Trump's a mean person, even though he's trying to start peace with North Korea and Kim Jong-un, and he went to the DMZ zone even though the other president did that, but he hates everybody. He hates fucking immigrants. Oh my God. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's the only time I ever felt bad, is that everybody fucking believed that shit.
I think it's easy to just take the parts of him that are truthful, that maybe those annoying media companies talk about, and to take the things that he did do and to separate them out and be like, well, one isn't fact and one is fact.
Well, what are you talking about, dude?
He can simultaneously be like hateful towards certain groups and make actual legislative changes or executive changes, and he can also be good at interacting with
Trump has
a dictator.
Oh, sorry.
Sam, answer this question. How come there's no like middle period for Al Sharpton? He was just fat and now he's skinny as shit.
Thank God, dude. That's what I've been trying to ask Sam this whole fucking time.
No,
like, where's the middle ground Al Sharpton?
Well, listen, if you want an answer, I'll give you a goddamn answer.
Okay.
I think this is proof that the elites had
There's a
Ozempic
local Auschwitz museum
all the time. They always had it, and they don't want you to know it. They didn't want us to know about it. They were price gouging. They were saying only diabetics can do it. And I know Al Sharpton wasn't diabetic.
Mm-hmm. They just threw him in a black Israelite church closet for 3 months, and then he came out.
He just ran out of his curl release, and then they were like,
So Sam, what race do you think that Trump is hateful against? Just in your opinion, because honestly, I don't have any opinion. Here's my opinion on this. I don't think Trump has any enough experience with other races. Actually, he might have more experience with other races than we do because he's a fucking billionaire and probably has like set up more companies in those places. So he might have a more nuanced opinion on other races than you think. He's not just a guy that's living in a fucking like trailer that's just like being mad at Puerto Ricans. He might have like 5 or 7 Puerto Ricans that personally fucked him over that he has like a beef against because he's a fucking billionaire and he buys some hotels over in Puerto Rico.
Well, he used to not give homes to black people in his own.
Who would you give a home to a black guy, Sam? Honestly, if you had a home and you could pick between a white guy and a black guy, I'm not trying to be racist here. I'm just saying.
Alonzo, I literally can't. I cannot answer your question.
I love saying I'm not being racist. I'm just saying I wouldn't give a home to a black guy. You can't just say that.
Sam, can I hear an impression? I want to hear an impression of Trump talking to the best Eskimo Inuit.
I like how he's saying he
business.
wouldn't give homes to black guys. It's like, what is that even based on? Like they're black.
Is that
and
the
just what-
president's
Based on
job?
his old
Oh.
complexes from back in the day.
Like there's what I mean, but was that Trump's fucking like? Did he make the rule that says we don't give, or was it just a systematic thing? And he just happened to have
No,
an
no,
apartment
it
building
wasn't
that worked within the system.
It wasn't that no black people in the entirety of the system of New York housing could.
But that
now-
particular
Stay in
area. So you're
complexes.
saying that it was Trump's. It was the Trump system that said that black people can't live here. It wasn't a systematic thing that he just happened to operate within.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say the New York oppressing minor system that was invented by Robert Moses, but there's no reason.
Wait,
to
what? Wait a second. That's almost crazier than anything anybody's ever said. You actually put a name to the oppression.
The book is called The Power Broker.
I
It's
know
like
we've talked about
1200
it before, but you can't say. So you're saying that was all just Robert Moses? Or
Robert
is it-
Moses
I
is
would
the
say-
one who invented, who built the system of moving like tenant housing. But a big part of it was allowing like a lot of people to have inns. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Trump family was allowed an inn, and that it was essentially like an insurance scam, and that he was able to keep like kicking people out of their normal apartments, moving them into tenants, and then all that did is just create slums.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like human.
His philosophy of
gerrymandering where
urban
they
development
live.
influenced a generation of engineers, architects, and urban planners across the United States.
He's considered one of the most influential, like, and this is actually where I guess San Antonio has a little bit of like credibility to, or did something right, and that Robert Moses' entire thing was like kind of reacting to the moment. So he kept building roads when what New York City desperately needed was public transportation. And so it wasn't until after him that they finally like put money into the subway system again. But you know, he's also the one who essentially invented the toll road scam. Of before, how toll roads worked is people would keep using the toll road, and then once people had used the toll road enough to pay for the cost of the toll road,
They'd take it away.
they take it away. But he was the one who invented, as long as the construction company still has another project in the works, that money can be rerouted to the new construction project. So as long as a project exists, the tolls can be infinite.
You know what that is? That's the fucking that's literally Otto von Bismarck's concept of how he kept like the German well, I think it was Austrian at the time, or Austrian Prussian. I forget. He was either Austrian Prussian or fucking German, but Germans were created by all those things. Either way, what it was that the fucking diocese couldn't create a fucking new tax program, so he just went off the old tax program. And it's the same idea where it's like, oh, we didn't have a new project, we'll just go off the old fucking like formula and then just fund a new project.
So, like, when the German Federation was created, it's like the Prussians were the ones who were in charge, but he was pretty much like the guy that the Prussians talked to for planning everything. So he was the one who pretty much invented Germany. And it was like, it's all going to be under the Prussians.
It was the Prussians. Yeah, the Prussians created Germany.
But he was pretty much their advisor who came up with all of this.
But it's like back. Dude, you ever watched? Dude, I watch this fucking documentary all the time on Otto von Bismarck, and basically he started off like a fucking nut. Well, I mean, he's still rich and shit, but he was a fucking ruffian and shit. I mean, well,
So, Sam, how does it feel to be on San Antonio's lead neo-Nazi podcast?
is this neo-Nazi
It's like
just
I
because
love
we're like Prussian?
But no,
I
Otto
love
von
that Alonzo
Bismarck's
knows
like
more about
80 years
Prussians
before.
creating Germany than like
but I'm just fucking.
racial discrimination.
Here's my crazy thing about like, am I crazy to think that Nazism has more like in common to communism than people are trying to act like? Where it's basically they took all the shit from communism and just took all the shit from fucking like they took all the bad shit out of communism and just made it better.
Oof.
It's National Socialism, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Like, he goes, oof. It's like, do you even know what communism is? It's fucking just like, it's like extreme socialism. But if you actually look at socialism, that's like the right thing. And then National Socialism is probably the best thing.
But look, the difference is though, communism and socialism don't have a racial aspect.
Neither does National Socialism. It's like it's this idea that of fucking
formally. It was formally National Socialism.
Why can't people?
Yeah,
everybody, I hate the fact that people go that fucking communism is like this great idea in theory, but National Socialism isn't a better idea in theory.
But hold on, who said that? You just added that to your thing.
What?
No one has said that in this room or anything. You just started to say that. My point was,
I'm saying that people say that. I'm not saying that you said that. I'm saying people say that.
Well, maybe I do, but you haven't asked.
What, do you think that National Socialism is a better idea than communism in theory?
No, but it sounds like you believe that.
It is. What are you talking about? The idea of doing a socialist nation, you don't have to necessarily add a racial component to it. But the idea of National Socialism over communism, it's like, who are the socialist societies that people use to fucking define socialism? Usually they're ethnically homogenic, like fucking Netherlands and Finland and fucking Japan and stuff like that. They're usually racially like ethnic. They're ethnocentric or whatever.
Ethnocentric, and I'm not like, ooh, ethnocentrism is great. My point is, my understanding of Nazism is it actually.
LaGuardia was known as the Little Mayor because he was really short.
It falls in.
That's what you should be called, motherfucker. What? I'm sorry.
Liberal democracy. So it kind of flies in the face of democracy.
What does?
Liberal democracy. And so it's kind of not.
Well, how does socialism find in the way of democracy? It actually doesn't. What are you talking about? Socialism.
Well, they're not the.
Socialism has nothing to do with the
economic. I know socialism isn't an economic format. I understand they can exist simultaneously. I'm just saying, like Nazism, it's far right. It's totalitarianism.
There's no thing. It's not saying it's Nazism. Nazism was created by a fucking propaganda machine that was actually owned by the Jews. If we're going to be fucking anti-Semitic about it, but I mean the word Nazi, the word Nazi called themselves a Nazi. No Nazi said, "I'm a Nazi." They're a National Socialist, but the term Nazi was invented by the enemies of National Socialism. If you can't understand that, then that's like crazy.
It doesn't matter what you call it.
It does matter what you call it. Actually, it actually does matter what you call it. There's one thing. So if you call a black guy the N-word, or if you call him a fucking Negro, there's a difference. You know what I mean? It does matter what you call somebody. Actually, there's a slur for somebody, and there's a thing that actually defines their political ideology. Nazis aren't defined by being Nazis. They're defined by being National Socialists. There are Nazis that did bad things. There are sections of Nazism, like there are sections of America that fucking, like if we look at the fucking Guantanamo Bay, are we going to say that Guantanamo Bay defines the entirety?
Jesus,
I'm just being real, dog. I'm just being real. I'm just being real.
I'm just waiting to do my Robert Moses to Maury Maverick.
We took all the Nazi scientists with Operation Paperclip. All the Nazi scientists, we took them over here and made them fucking rocket scientists. Oh, are we going to talk about that?
I read a von Braun biography. It's actually von Braun. But yeah, that was the Nazi scientist who was behind the propulsion part. He was the main guy that we actually took from Germany that was a actual, like, had anything to do with rockets. He's who they like think of when they say like, oh, and then we put him in NASA. It's really just him. But he's the guy who invented the V2 that like destroyed London, and his entire like brilliance was that like just like liquid propulsion rockets that were accurate. And yeah, you know, we just used his
information. But what does it have to do with racially?
I'm trying to get away from this fucking topic
in New York.
What did you say, Sam? What does that have to do with what?
My point, Alonzo, is we're going down so many goddamn rabbit holes.
What does that have to go to what?
On one thing.
What? To
Jesus,
what? To what?
Mary and
what does it go to back?
I have a whole monologue on Robert Moses to San Antonio to Maury Maverick.
And you should do it. I'm here for it. We have like how many hours? We have We have like 12 minutes left, so that's fine. You can totally rock that out. Sam, what are you saying that I'm fucking? What are you talking about? I'm literally telling you that Nazism is a fucking slur for National Socialism, which could also, which were the Nazis, yes, but like you even agreed with me earlier that socialism is a better form of fucking. All right, whatever.
Whoa, hold on. You just said it, and who cares?
What? What did I say?
You said yes, it is. Okay.
Yes is what?
By the way, I'm not going to argue the semantics of. Would you call it National Socialism, Alonzo? Or
what would I call it?
Nazism?
I'm calling it what it actually is, and you're calling
it's
it
the same thing.
No, it actually isn't, because it's like calling every communistic philosophy fucking like defining it by the worst ideals of it. It's like saying, it's like people always say communism works, but it just didn't work in that society because they didn't do it right. But the idea of saying National Socialism didn't work because the fucking Nazis fucked it up is pretty shitty, honestly, because people always think that communism can work again, but not National Socialism. Why? It's actually it's like a better distillation of what communism is supposed to be. It's like, it actually is. So if you actually care about communism, then you should probably look into National Socialism, unless you're just too afraid to look at what the Nazis thought about. If you're too afraid to think about, oh, the Nazis might have good ideas like highways and rockets and fucking medicine and all this shit. It's like, okay, yeah, my bad. I'm sorry for like looking at knowledge, Sam, and not being mad about that. It sounded really gay.
I mean, I'm not saying communism. I think you're just saying that I think that communism is good, and so you're like defending Nazism as a component of communism or the National Socialism.
I think Nazism. I think Nazism is a slur, like saying that niggerism like has to do with fucking black people. I think that it's a slur. I think it's a slur. I think it's a slur against a fucking ideology.
But who cares, dude? It's
you obviously care. You obviously care enough to use it to fucking denigrate a fucking possible philosophy that obviously
Hitler,
has.
What a bad. Yeah.
Not just Hitler, as I'm saying. Hitler didn't invent fascism. Hitler didn't invent all these ideas and stuff. Actually, they came from the Roman Empire. And like I'm saying, like this idea of like what you're looking at.
Stay focused, man.
I'm trying to stay focused. I'm trying to explain to you that these ideas aren't intrinsic to negativity, and that just because they were used by negative people, or that the extreme
but what
idea
Hitler did with Nazis is negative. Just because you
argue Nazis didn't call themselves fucking Nazis is what I'm trying to say. So you're telling me it's like, if you're saying this, like the N words weren't like this. I'm like, you're calling black people the wrong thing. If you don't have respect for the people that you're fighting, then I don't have respect for your ideas, because if you're fighting somebody, then they have a fucking idea that you disagree with, and you should at least respect what they're thinking.
You're so off. You're so off base. The fact that you want to argue the semantics,
the fact that you don't know that Nazi is a fucking slur against National Socialism makes me realize that you have no real actual scope of the conversation. You are looking at it through the lens of a fucking
socialism as a theory. I'm talking about the fact that Hitler was a Nazi. And
because the fucking Americans called him a Nazi. You're literally saying John Henry was an N-word because he was black and people called him that back in the day. That's what I'm saying. You're literally calling this society. You can hate them. You can hate them. It's like me calling a fucking trans person a guy, even though they're identifying as a chick, because I don't like them.
No, it would be the same as me saying John Henry is an N-word and he is a bad guy because of it. That's not what I said.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that you're just.
That was my point. Hitler was called a Nazi and he did bad things. What's the argument, anyways? Why did you go to this?
Because I gotta fill fucking time, dude. I gotta fill time. We didn't have enough. We didn't have fucking enough podcast time, and now we're over 15 minutes. So thank you.
So Robert Moses, his
invention.
invention.
Look good for you. You're gonna come out the other end looking like the guy that's like, Nazis were fine. Hitler was
I don't
cool.
give a shit, dude. Why would Nazis like me? I'm a fucking biracial, fucking bisexual, fucking faggot.
You don't look like
I don't give a shit. Exactly. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck, Sam? All right. Okay. Who cares?
When they round you up, they don't care. They're just gonna look at you.
So you're just mad because they're
gonna
gonna look at your
Jew.
big schnoz and think you're a Jew? That's why you're scared? Is that what that's all about? Is that what it's all about?
I know I'm in trouble. No, I know I'm in trouble. Look.
You
I'm
think
not
when the
gonna
Nazis
deny,
come
though,
through and be like,
Alonzo,
my name's
Alonzo thinks he's a
my name's
friend.
Al Cantu.
No, Alonzo's like, I'm friends to the Nazis. I'm friends to National
I didn't
Socialists.
say I'm friends with fucking anybody. I'm trying. Like, first off, Trump isn't a fucking Nazi. He's a goddamn
No,
Democratic
I never
centrist.
no, I never said that. I never said that. I'm not. I don't say that. I would say that he is surrounded by potential.
Dude, if Trump is surrounded by Nazis, the country would get like. Another thing is like, I'm not trying to say that Nazis are a good thing, but if you like have that kind of German efficiency to fucking life, things are gonna fucking change.
Your arguments.
I think that Nazi is a high fucking. It's more. And that could be a fuck. Yeah, you're right. You know, I could be saying the wrong thing, but it's like.
Yeah, you shoot a hole into your own
I don't give a fuck.
You
To call
sink your
Trump,
own
to
ship.
compare Trump to Hitler is an insult to Hitler. All right, that's all I'm saying.
But I didn't do that. That's the thing. You're like saying things where you're just putting yourself in a fucking hole of like, well, you know, like maybe he could take some ideas from Mein Kampf. No,
They
that's
all,
not my
dude.
point.
Here's the
I'm
thing:
saying
the idea of propaganda
active-
that came through World War II was all stolen from fucking Hitler. Like, who is the guy that who is the guy who is Hitler's propagandist? What was his name? Fucking
Goebbels.
There you go. Goebbels created the standard for propaganda that we adopt to this day. If you
So
look
that
at
makes-
Goebbels'
so
propaganda,
that makes us Nazis.
it doesn't, dude. Just accepting good ideas doesn't make you intrinsic to the person that created them. Somebody can make good music and you can like it. It doesn't mean that you support all the things that they did in the past. Truth is truth,
I
and
agree.
it should be pure
don't like
from
the
anything
idea that
else. Is
some
all
of
I'm
his
saying. I think that's my
followers
point. Is that I don't give a fuck about Hitler. I don't give a fuck about Michael Jackson. But I still want to use highways, and I still want to listen to fucking Billie Jean's "Not My Girl" without feeling like I'm a bad person because of it.
Hitler made trainways, if any. Hitler made railways. He didn't make highways. How dare you?
Okay, well, let's say he made anything that was
feels
good. You
like
get my
an
point.
end for my Robert
Hitler
Moses
made
monologue.
boxcars. How
Thank you.
fucking dare
Okay,
you?
there we go. Let's listen to Todd. That's your new name.
Okay, I'm not Todd. So, Robert Moses, so we've already discussed the toll roads. Now, a lot of this was done
deeper.
through the public works, you know, as a part of the Great Depression. Now, at the same time, you know, well, Robert Moses was just kind of flying by his bootstrap building roads and bridges and all this shit. There was a new concept called city planning. And the city that had the highest per capita city planning budget was San Antonio, thanks to our mayor at the time, Maury Maverick. And that's why in San Antonio, we don't have a damn toll road. We're the biggest city without toll roads because we actually planned ahead of time. And that's something I'll say about this construction. I don't like all the construction going on, but none of it's toll roads. So that is at least nice. And Maury Maverick, great mayor. He also, you know, took public work money, but instead of just using it to build toll roads and bridges, he built the Riverwalk in La Villita, which, you know, the whole point of that entire project was to increase tourism, which...
Sam, have you even been to the local Auschwitz Museum?
No, they won't let me in.
What is that, the Botanical Gardens?
Right. Dude, Zandy asked in the chat, have y'all been to the local Auschwitz Museum? Zandy, have you been to the local Auschwitz Museum? If you have, I mean, I bet you went with James.
What is that,
actually.
the museum?
I bet James took you to that fucking shit as a date, didn't he? I feel like that was a thing.
No, it's the Japanese tea garden. It's their outhouse.
It's like the most peaceful, beautiful place. It's just like it's a celebration of Auschwitz.
You look in the koi pond and it's like figures of like dying Jews. It's like these people were buried in their koi pond.
And it's like they
in
taught the
San Antonio.
kois how to seek Heil and shit. It's like they're the only ones that can fucking do this. They can lift their flipper out of the water.
Or no, what if they put like for one day they put a different thing on the train for the zoo, just like a Nazi outfit for the zoo train.
Oh, they have a
Yeah.
zoo train?
Yeah, there's a train that goes from like the parking lot to the zoo and around like the park.
Did
And
we
then they
already talk
take-
about
they
the
take,
fucking
like-
Rosa Parks things last week?
take,
was
like,
that
the
that was the
giraffe.
topic?
They take like the giraffe and the lemur that are wearing yarmulkes and put them on the train, and like you get to ride with them.
There's a Jewish
Sounds like
lemur?
fun. A Jewish lemur.
Jewish lemur.
Jewish lemur.
I don't like to move it, move it. I don't know. Is that a stereotype? I don't think so.
I like to schmool it.
There we go.
I like to schmear it. See, we could go all day, folks.
See, and that's a good. That no one gets hurt by schmear it.
Yeah. See, I'm a friend. I'm a friend of the Jews.
Holy shit! I actually had a revelation at fucking HEB. 1 second.
Oh.
Holy shit!
Alonzo had a revelation at HEB.
Yeah. So I was actually trying to track down my fucking history of anti-Semitism. And I don't like to call it anti-Semitism because most of my friends are actually Jewish. Like my best, like honestly, my best friends were Jewish. I don't need to like, but I was trying to figure out why have I always had a fucking mistrust of the Jews, and that actually comes from my fucking super Christian upbringing. And when I found out that the Jews like killed Jesus, I was like, wait, what? You guys killed Jesus? Like the nicest guy ever? There's got to be something up with you guys and stuff like that. And I think that was always I think Catholicism embedded the anti-Semitism in my psyche. Were you
That's
raised?
what happened.
What?
The opposite happened to me because I was Catholic and I wanted to be a Jew.
Why?
Because I thought I thought Jews were cooler and they were all like the funny people on
Cooler?
TV. Yeah, I thought that. I genuinely was like, dude, Jews are cool as shit. And I wanted to culturally be Jewish. And I think part of it was watching them kill this guy that I didn't believe in and being like, if they're just going to pretend that these fictitious Jews killed this fictitious guy that fictitiously came out of a pussy that didn't have had sex, that hadn't had sex, I was like, they seem probably kind of cool. And we're just like knocking them because we're not.
I think Sam's trying to fuck with me, but he doesn't realize how little I care about Jesus, so I can't tell if he's being serious.
And then they'd go on to write Annie Hall.
Well, yeah, I mean, no Jew's ever done anything wrong. That was the other thing that I felt was like, there's nowhere in their book, which is our book, but just part one, where they're like, and then we killed the guy. It is. It's like, we killed a guy then. No, it's always like, the guy upstairs killed the guy. Like, they didn't take responsibility. But also, it's like, they don't, like, dude, I've talked to Jews.
Jesus
and they'll be
doesn't
like,
show up in the Jewish
they
Bible
don't even
except
really
for the
believe
top.
it.
A lot of people don't realize that the Quran is just like rewriting the Bible.
Oh, dude, it's, yeah.
I thought the Quran was part 3.
There's a little bit of part 3, but there's also a lot of like
Rewriting, like where they explain what
the
actually
Jesus
was
guy
being
comes up a
said.
lot.
They're like, so what's that? So what did they rewrite? Because I want to know what they're actually talking about. 'Cause honestly, when it comes to like understanding a guy on the phone, I want a guy from India or like Arabia to tell me what actually is being said.
Do you have any of those?
About what? Well,
Do you
we
have
have John right here. He's going to explain it to us. Please. Sam.
Okay.
I'm
John's
pretty
gonna be
much
the
a speaker
representative.
for the Muslim
What John's
people.
doing right now, I'm like so jealous. I'm like, God damn it! I wish we would switch seats because I just want to be sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Is he laying down?
Dude, he's fucking maxing out right now, dude. He's like, honestly, he's like, dude, seriously, I'm like so fucking jealous. I'm about to go smoke a cigarette. Dude, do you got cigarette time?
I can talk about Islam with Sam Haney enough time for you to smoke a cigarette.
I'm like so jealous.
So, hit me, John.
Oh no, I mean for the most part it's just rewriting stuff with like they add a bunch of like little detail stuff. So apparently when Jesus comes back, he's gonna come back in Damascus, and all of Revelations is like just him walking to his tomb in Israel, I think. So I think that's part of the reason why a lot of Muslims don't like Syria is because they're sort of a different branch of Islam, but like they're the ones in charge of this really important location for when Jesus comes back.
This kind of sounds like that boring epilogue in a movie. It sounds like the boring epilogue in the movie when the movie pretty much should have ended and credits should have rolled, but then they have to cut to the
Dude,
child
Jesus
grown
is
up
like
as an
sand.
old man.
Jesus' hand like popping out of the sand at the end of the movie, like after the credits.
Exactly. There has to be an MCU mid-credits roll, and that is Islam.
Alonzo's saying it would be cool if Jesus was like Aladdin, which I think there's some of that. Like the way they describe the Antichrist in Islam, the way they like describe the Antichrist in Islam almost like sounds like Jafar.
So almost like the racist version of what people think.
Yeah, it's like
Middle Eastern guys are.
It's like an Arabic folky twist on like the Antichrist. And yeah, I mean, I honestly think that like, oh man, I don't want to put a damn fatwa on my head or whatever, but like, I
Wait,
think.
Did you say fatwa or
what is it?
fatwa?
What do you know what I'm talking about? Like the yeah, where it's like they like put a like kill this guy.
Yeah, fatwa, like a hit. It's like a hit.
Well, no, I have some opinions that like I honestly think a lot of Islam is there's some truth to it, but I think Muhammad himself is somewhat of an unreliable narrative. So like in the Quran,
So you think that fucking God came down to Muhammad and was like, "Yo, I gotta like, my word's infallible. I actually had some corrections."
Here's oh man.
That'd be so cool of God. He must have been drunk as fuck when he did that.
So-
he must have been like super humble about himself because that's not the God of literally any other Bible.
I think there's somewhat of a test to it in that, like, so in Christianity, it's pretty adamant that like Jesus is the only perfect person, and even in Islam, there's this like concept of prophets. So like John the Baptist is a prophet, but I think that's something that we struggle is like we think prophets themselves have to be like near perfect. But the Bible never says that. The Bible just says Jesus is perfect.
No.
And so I think that like I think that like Muhammad can be a prophet, but like all his matter as prophet is he's the seal God writes through his hand for writing the Quran. I think what Muhammad does outside of writing the Quran is unimportant, but that is a very important part of that religion is what Muhammad does outside of writing the Quran.
But I feel like that's just as much of like then if you believe that, then you got to at least believe in like the Mormon like belief in the Bible because it seems just as accurate. Just because they're over there in fucking the Middle East and you're using the Abrahamic religion to justify. Like here's the thing: what the craziest thing to me is how much Christianity had an effect on like the Netherlands and like the Viking religions because they were so into having a god that was so powerful that could just like conquer all the other gods. So they didn't even get butthurt when like fucking because they all believed in like Zeus and all this shit and like Thor. Well, they believe in like Thor and all that fucking horse shit. And then like when the Christians came over and just like decimated them, they're like they didn't go like, oh, we hate these people because they destroyed our gods. They're like, oh, our gods are fucking pussies. We want to worship this guy. This guy is fucking whooping our ass. We want to be like that guy.
But the crazy thing is that is what almost sort of ends up domesticating them.
No, 100%. I'm saying that's what creates a unified. So this idea of a monotheistic religion. Thank you. Theistic?
Are you saying that we should have Allah fight Shiva?
Well, that is what naturally happens. Is like what my whole thought is. I always tell Chandra whenever he's at fucking open mic that I'm at. I always talk about how Christianity makes sense because fucking all the Indian gods are like all of our devils and shit. They all like just represent everything that's like negative about Christianity. So no wonder we hate them and subjugate them as a people.
Alonzo, have you heard of the Baha'i?
I don't know. Tell me about them.
It's a religious system that that basically states that God is representative in all of these religions, and so it's this hyper inclusive religion where everyone is following God, but just in different shapes and forms throughout history. So Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, Allah, they are all essentially the same. They are different images of the same God. And so it's kind of like this hyper inclusive way of being like, I don't know, man, if this native group, prayed over trees and the sun and the stars and all that shit, like that's all still them praying to
Well, I think I've
God.
always like said this where it's like it's very interesting. Like I don't know if God is a real idea, but whatever is humanity has an intrinsic inclination to create a God, right? Like no matter where you
Totally,
find a
totally.
religion, you find, and also like I said, I think that then devolves into the way that we vote for leaders, like the way that we all vote for Trump, or the way that we look for these leaders that have to be imperfect, like a fucking
These
calf, or like,
demigods, yeah.
and they become then the sacrifice for all of the bad things that we do. Like they actually have to become a sacrificial lamb. It's like they have to be perfect in all these different ways. But what do? We venerate them? No, we just then trash them like a fucking like as I'm saying, the idea of having a perfect sacrifice is more intrinsic to us than actually having a leader, which I'm trying to explain is like this idea that so we're more led by a mythical idea of perfection, or a mythical idea of higher purpose, in my opinion, than we actually are by like leadership or anything like that. Because like I said, when we find the leader, we don't necessarily venerate them. There's some people that do, but it seems like it's mostly their job to be the sacrificial lamb of a higher ideal. And we all agree that there's like this higher political system that actually installs these people and actually figures them out. But the fact that we
But
don't
there's
have
some
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I was going to say there's something to be said then, I think, to those leaders who became more totalitarian. It's almost like they knew that about humanity. Like what you're saying is something maybe
Well,
they
they were bred by it
recognized.
because they were actually like
Yeah.
their parents are the governors, they are the senators, they are the presidents. That's what I'm saying. Is like, or they're the people that invest in them, which are even the higher people. Is what I'm trying to say. Is like when you're born into that lane, like so we're born like even if you were a military guy, unless you like really do good and like kiss the right political ass, you're still just gonna be like that person. Like the people that run the country have like such a generational wealth. It's unfathomable because they don't necessarily own money. They own assets and fucking like things like that. It's like it's things that people only understand when they're hanging around people that are actually richer than them. It's like you
Yeah.
don't ever understand certain things until you reach that plateau or you reach that land or whatever, and it can be a
Like how
vertical
cool
thing.
it is to have a freak off. You won't truly
Well,
understand
that's my
how
whole
many
bit
bottles
about
of lube you
pink
need.
cocaine, where it's like
Yeah.
imagine being so rich that regular cocaine, like just having all the regular
Yeah.
cocaine, isn't
Yeah.
exciting to you anymore.
It's never enough. Yeah.
Now you need pink cocaine to actually get your dick hard enough to fuck this like
Yeah. A
this traffic girl,
non-naturally
and
occurring
she can't
color.
actually want to do it. She has to be doing it because she needs money, because that's how you get off. Like you need her to be in the same victimized state that you were, where it's like Diddy didn't want to be Diddy because he wanted to be Diddy. He felt like I can't be a real person unless I'm like this person above me that made me feel so bad about myself. Like they literally degraded me to a point that I felt like I wasn't a human. And actually, it probably validated how I already felt about myself because I had a very foul ass childhood. So Diddy's like dad was like a big drug dealer for like all these people and shit. So he was probably just like yeah. I'm saying like to fathom what Diddy's horrible childhood was to create the fucking pain that he did,
Yeah.
but also what he did wasn't unique. The fact that we're acting like Diddy is the one person is the problem with not only society, but the industry itself, but mostly society, because what we want is the person to be mad at, but we don't actually want to get mad at the problem. Like people get mad at Hitler, but they
Yeah.
don't look at what made Hitler Hitler. They don't look at the social economic situation that was caused by over-regulated banking, like over fucking freedomized banking that fucking made the German people a Weimar Republic that made fucking daughters fuck their moms. And like, dude, if you look at the Weimar Republic and you look at what happened to Germany before Hitler took over and turned it to a fucking actual power within 5 years, if you actually look at what Hitler did, like, it's hard to and I feel like, you know, at a certain point he's like, oh, I gotta do this to keep I gotta keep the fucking it's like corporations where it's like they start exploiting people because they gotta keep the margins up for their fucking investors. And I don't know, man, that's what I'm saying. When you look at Hitler and you actually look at what he did for Germany and you look at where Germany was when they took Hitler in, they weren't in a good place. They were actually in a place that
I'm
was
with
like
you, but what's
closer
with
to
the
a
whole
third world
racial?
country.
Yeah, but what's with the whole racial eradication thing? Why
Are
did
you talking
that
about
have
the
to happen?
Jews? Well, because
Yeah.
here's the thing about the Jewish people, and I'm not trying to be rude, but if you look at the hayseeds, which like here's the
This
thing,
is exactly what it
well, like, I mean, it's like, okay, Sam, if we're gonna have this real conversation, all right, we're talking about the Hasidic people, all right, and this is and the idea of the Rothschilds actually owning the banking system, which
No,
are
what?
fucking.
No, you're not answering that. God damn it, Alonzo.
You're talking about the
What does that
racial
have to do?
eradication. You're talking about the racial eradication.
What does that have to do with Nazi Germany?
Well, if you can.
Rothschilds.
So here's the thing. I think that what Nazi Germany did to the Jewish people was really fucking horrible because what they did was they fucking exiled them and then took all the wealth that the Jewish people had accumulated and then used that to fund the fucking Nazi
Wait,
war
you
machine.
think that was the worst part?
What do you mean?
That was the worst part of what they did?
Oh, you're talking about the Holocaust thing?
That one.
Yeah. Well, when you're talking about like work camps and stuff like that, like when it's talking about like
I'm talking about the mass extermination.
yeah, I don't know, man. I really hope that
See,
fucking
that's
they
where we
didn't kill
gotta.
those
That's
people.
where we gotta
Here's the
find
thing,
some
like,
middle ground.
and here's the thing.
Fucked up.
What I think when people say that you're being a Holocaust denier, and here's the thing, I'm gonna
Oh,
go right to the
no.
camera right here.
This is not
I
a
don't
good
think
start,
I'm a
Alonzo.
Holocaust denier when it comes to
Not a good
this shit.
start, dude.
I think that I am just a I just hope that really didn't happen to the Jewish people. I think that
dude,
would really
that's
suck.
not how that worked.
What do you mean?
You can't. Well, that's like saying I don't know about 9/11 because I really don't. I hope that those guys didn't kill all those people in those towers. That's the kind of the same thing you're saying. I think that's also being like,
Here's my
well, the
thing.
worst thing that
So do you think
those
that-
guys did was
Yeah.
learn how to fly a plane well. It's like, nah, dude, the
I
worst thing they
think
did
that
was
I think that what
kill a
the
bunch of
I think that
people.
what the Germans did to the Jews isn't what the Jews said that the Germans did to the Jews through
That's
Hollywood media.
crazy,
Well, I
dude.
think that you're
That's
interrupting what I'm saying. I think you're
crazy.
interrupting what I'm saying. So it's like this. I think that there was definitely prison camps where the worst things that the Jews said happened to them definitely happened to them. But the systematic torture of the Jewish people that is being propagated through, like, you know, media and stuff, I don't think is necessarily 100% historically accurate, because we also had prison camps and shit like that. And I know this is a very fucking controversial point, and I'm going to take this on whatever. It's like, I'm not saying that I'm right either. If somebody, like, I'm not saying this is just, I'm not saying that I'm right, and I don't, and I don't want people to like what I'm saying, but I just do think that we did have our own prison camps where we took people from Italy and Germany and in all these different countries, Japan especially, and we had them in prison camps, and to act like we didn't.
But that doesn't have anything to do with you.
Here's what I
Well,
think.
well,
I think we've
you
lost.
think they didn't die? You don't think that anybody didn't die in those prison camps? And
I
shit?
think we've lost our entire audience with this boring fucking conversation for the past 45 minutes. We're down to one viewer. Why are we still talking about this?
Well, Tuttle, we never
Well,
really
here's
had
my
more
whole
than
thing.
one
Well, here's
viewer.
my
It's been 45 shitty minutes of keep coming back to this.
Well, here's my whole thing about that. When it comes to the show, I'm just gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's like it's whatever, because I can also just do the. It's like a cartoon where no matter what happens this way, it's gonna be a whole different thing next week, and I'm not gonna give a fuck about what happened this week. I'm not gonna bring it up. But I feel bad about Tuttle being right here because you should have just walked off the show. You should have been like, I'm not gonna put up with this shit. This is
I mean, we
horseshit."
had like 7 viewers at one point before this
We
shit
had 7.
started.
Well, we had another.
And now
3. It
we're
went from
down
2
to
3.
1.
No, actually, it went from 2 to 3 within just now.
Because we're actually getting off the. I've noticed anytime we've gotten off the topic,
What
it
do you want
starts
to talk
to bump.
about? I have. So
I'm
many things
literally
to talk
talking about anything else, and you keep bringing it back to arguing with Sam, and it kills the flow. It's not fun.
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry.
By the way, Tuttle,
I'm sorry.
I
You're
don't
right,
agree.
Tuttle. You're right. I'm sorry.
It's been terrible.
It's horrible.
I've been here making faces at the camera this entire time.
You're right. You're right.
That's why
You know
they
what?
went
You know
down, your
what? This is.
faces.
God damn it. Tuttle, you know, 1 second. You know what?
No,
this is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit.
You're good.
No, it's not good.
But I'm glad I could say it.
No, fucking say it. Please, remind me every fucking time. But it's like I don't want to feel like I'm cutting off fucking Sam, and I also don't want to feel like I'm like cucking to the point or whatever. But you're right, dude. It is fucking gay.
Oh,
It's
no.
been fucking said. The point's been made. If anybody wants to fucking make up their own point, we can get back to the fucking funny. There's no fucking reason to be fucking stupid about this shit, and I really do apologize. Here's the thing, dude. Tuttle's a very funny motherfucker. Tuttle's a very funny motherfucker. He does not need to be here to listen to me and Sam argue and not be able to be funny. He doesn't want to be here to not be funny. He's not here to be political. He's not here to be a fucking. He's not here to be like this. And I do apologize to. I personally do apologize to you.
You're all good.
But I seriously do. I have so many things that I can talk about besides this. Sam!
Be honest.
Sam, stop it.
No, I'm trying to make a funny point if you'll shut up.
No.
I was going to say, Tuttle, do you really believe that this is the first episode that's been unfunny?
No.
Man.
I mean, I think
we've been in episodes that weren't funny.
I think this is the longest string of like, look, you're not even talking about unfunny. You're talking about this is borderline. I don't want to listen to this. This is boring
I like
conversation.
how Sam told me
Turn
to
it
shut
off.
the fuck up to then tell me, don't you think we've been at unfunnier shows? That's not what I'm trying to say, Sam. I'm trying to say, you know what? Maybe Tuttle won't want to be on the next unfunny show. Maybe this is the last one. Maybe unless I fucking go, you know what? You're right. This is fucking bullshit. Dude, he's doing me a fucking favor to fucking be on here. You do me a fucking favor to be on here too. Let's do the audience a favor to be listening and shit. Let's just not talk about this stupid shit. Let's give it like
this argument is good. This this argument is content, guys. We're coming back around.
Here's the crazy shit. So I was on today. So here's the shit. Are you listening, Tuttle?
I'm listening.
Are you listening, Sam?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So the musical Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark had the largest production budget in Broadway history at $75 million. When it closed after a 3-year run, its investors had reportedly lost $60 million.
Well, I remember. I feel like is that the Spider-Man play I heard about when it first came out? People were
That
talking
was a
about how
Spider-Man
terrible.
Broadway play with all the problems.
Yeah, people, stuntmen were getting like terribly injured and shit, and like they blew the budget out. And I don't, did it actually go for 3 years? That's fucking bananas.
Yeah, that's the craziest part to me. I thought that thing got like canceled after its first month.
Yeah.
Here's my
I
point
thought so,
about
too.
that.
That's what I thought.
Who
I
thought-
think it took 3 years to prepare.
Who thought
You know.
that was going to be a good idea? Where it's like, so first off, women don't want to go to Marvel movies and dudes don't want to go to fucking plays. But I guess they thought that, oh, we're going to do a shitty version of both of those things that nobody wants to go to. And then everybody's going to want to go to it for some reason. It's like, I don't know.
It's like NASCAR having hot air balloon races. It's like two ideas don't go well together. So let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and do it.
No,
Let's
actually,
try it
no.
out.
Actually, let's put that together. I think this is a good bit. Chat, if you're still with us, what are two things that go worse together than theatrics and Marvel movies? Like theater. That's probably a romantic theater play too. I bet, because I'm saying Turn Off the Dark, and they're doing Spider-Man. It's probably a Spider-Man Mary Jane thing. So what goes worse together than fucking hyper masculinized Marvel movies or action movies and fucking literal theater? What are two worst combinations? Chat,
Well, do you think it's because they tried that because for some reason Hamilton hit some weird like
We gotta look
appealing
at
to
that
most
now. When did
crowds,
Hamilton come out?
like there was
Well,
some
it
sort of
definitely
like
feels like, yeah, it definitely feels like that was the point when MCU was at its peak. And I think they thought that just because MCU on film was so good, nothing else that they make could fit. Like, nothing can fail. Nothing else can fail. It's all going to succeed because look how good it's doing in theaters. It's like, what a false comparison to make of like, oh yeah, shitty theater that you're right, no one likes to go to, plus MCU equals
Well, here's the thing,
money.
I like theater, but I don't think the people that go to Marvel. Here's the thing, I don't like Marvel movies for the reasons that I like theater.
Right.
If that makes
Yeah,
sense, you know what I mean. So it's
right.
like
Oh,
I don't
totally.
think that people that go to Marvel movies are gonna be like, man, I want to go to a theater show unless it's a Marvel movie, I guess. But even then, it's like, I guess that was my whole point. Is that I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm pissing off Tuttle now.
No,
He's
you're
over here
fine. You're
and
fine.
I'm like, I don't know. Am I fucking getting mad?
No,
Jesus.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at anything. I'm glad that one conversation about whether the pros and cons of and not even I didn't even have any problem with anybody's take per se. It's just how long it was going without any jokes. There's content here. We got content, guys. We can talk about the Spider-Man fucking up. I like the idea of a Spider-Man Hamilton.
Oh, well, here's the thing. So apparently Bono did the lyrics with Edge. I wonder if we can play any of this without getting fucking stricken. Let me see.
No, but who cares? The shit failed so hard. Let's just listen to it.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck it.
Like, you think
Spider-Man
the
Off the
Edge-
Dark.
Do you think Edge really is listening to us and being like, time to copyright strike?
That's not how it works. It's
Wait, like
it's all
the-
built into the system.
Wait, the wrestler Edge?
The
No,
song would
would it
actually
be
be built
Edge,
into the
right?
system, and then if you just upload it to the same system, it would auto. That's how that does it. There's nobody that necessarily
Really?
manually reviews the shit. Yeah, no, it's all
Kind of
built
curious
into
by
the
this all
actual
recorded
software.
accidents.
Oh, I always wondered about that too. If you
Like
get
if
to
they're
see, like,
uploading it, here's the thing.
the
While you're
goblin
uploading
dropping
shit,
on the fucking ground.
yeah. Hmm. Spider-Man After Dark, Bono. Let's see. Why is it pulling up Bono, the Edge, Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark? All right, let's see if it does it.
Oh,
gonna be him talking
the
about it?
Edge is the name of his band.
The Edge, but
Or no, it's that.
That's the person. It's Bono and the Edge.
let me see.
I just keep thinking of Edge from wrestling.
No,
Spider-Man.
the Edge is from U2. So is Bono. They're both from
Turn
U2.
off the soundtrack. That's what I want. This is what I want. I want to listen to a little bit of the soundtrack, just a little taste. All right, guys. I just want a little taste of this. I hate when I'm playing it through the computer because I feel like it doesn't play. But it just could be the shittiness of this fucking song. Let's just get a little bit.
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably had to do it on a live recording.
Well, then,
I'm
are you
digging
safe
that
if
part.
It's a live recording.
I think so because it's like
It
1
actually
point.
is,
'cause
yeah,
it says
totally.
1.0 Broadway.
I think that's how
Yeah,
that
that's
works, right? Live
totally off a
recordings,
cell
you're
phone.
safe.
Let's see. Bouncing off the walls. I think, or Rise Above 2. Let's do Rise Above 2.
Wait, they didn't have enough songs. They had to do a second of the first song.
No. So this is a musical. You got to keep in mind. Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark is a musical that was on Broadway. It's like one of the biggest. It's the biggestly funded musical. It was 75 million, and then they lost like 60 million.
But the way they're like versioning these soundtracks makes it sound like they tried multiple things to try to make it work.
Right.
Like each
Or they,
sound
like,
sounds different.
They wrote
Like the
4
first one was like
songs.
1.0, and then I want to say I saw somewhere else like something that said like 2.0 full scene. So now it's like they've reiterated it. They try to fix some mistakes.
All right, let's see this real quick. 1 second. I want to like stop it a lot so we don't get fucking copyright struck. So if I stop it a lot, guys, it's literally because of that. Let's see if it works. Dude, look at the goblin suit. That's so dope. And
There's just some like reused cat costumes.
That would be great. They have like cats in the alley, and it's just the people.
Dude,
when
what's
they
that?
show cats.
God damn it. I'm sorry. What's that? There should be a button right here that pauses it, and it doesn't. There we go. What were you saying, Sam?
No, I was just adding on to Tuttle's point about old costumes from Cats. Like maybe they just used the same set from it and everything, and the budget mostly went into making a second version of that first song.
Yeah, this has some divorce-aversary budget vibes.
Dude, dude, thank you for saying that. That's like the exact. I wanted to say exactly that. But yes, like last week's episode, this has some divorce averse. I'm like, where did the $60 million go to exactly? Like
The generic nun's costume that probably was already backstage. I mean like,
dude, no, that's not as bad. Look at this. Look at this.
T-Rex.
Yes, 1 second. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. That's just a guy. That's just a guy in the middle of. Can people see? Yeah, thank God.
I legitimately think that is their. Oh, what is it? It's the lizard guy, like Crocodile, from Spider-Man. His like professor becomes like one of the villains, and his entire thing is that he's like half crocodile.
If I spent a fucking dollar on investment, I would have fucking thrown a punch.
You can see that's who it is because they have the lab coat, so it's supposed to be his professor. That's supposed to be Crocodile. Like,
how did they do Doc Ock? Is
What's
Doc
that?
Ock in it?
You're saying first second. First off, let me just drag this over here so people can see how upset I am, and then I'm gonna fucking take a piss because the facial features need to be realized over here, and then I need to pull up this display capture. No, look, see what I'm trying to say right here? See with the fucking guy in the, what is that? Yeah, okay, do you think that is that what you're saying? This is the lizard guy right
this
here?
this is supposed to be lizard. You can see because he has
Are
like,
you
the
fucking
outfit.
kidding me?
He
Wait a
has
second.
the lab coat and the pants.
But do you see where this guy is right here? Where this is the lizard costume is one guy and he's holding this up like with his arms. That's him. So you're saying that this shitty dinosaur costume right here is supposed to be the lizard man?
Look, lizard wears that lab coat.
Is he? That's the lab coat? Holy shit! Oh my God, you're fucking right. Oh my God, that is crazy. And they thought they were fucking genius for holding that there. And he's got the fucking purple pants.
It's literally like a dinosaur animatronic that they like cut in half and then taped to two sides of a guy. And they're saying this is Lizard, who's like supposed to be, you know, half man, half lizard. Like it's his skin. He still is able to put his hands through his shirt sleeves.
Is someone dressed as a nun? What the fuck?
Think of
Holy shit, that is crazy. You're 100% right. How did I not catch that before? You're 100% right. That you see the little purple pants right there. I think it's because the light was shining on right here, so I can see the purple pants on my
the
hand.
lab coat looks weird, but it's like once I see that he has that lab coat on, it's like why have that detail unless it's supposed to be lizard? And it's like, but you can tell it's also just a dinosaur costume like taped to both sides of a dude in a lab coat.
That's $60 million fucking dollars, dude. That is the fucking awesomest shit.
You literally.
I'm actually like, here's the thing. It's like, here's the thing. I don't get mad about this shit. I get mad that I haven't figured out how to grift. No, like grift as hard as these people because it's like, yeah, who wouldn't like? You just find dude. I'm saying it probably wasn't like 60 million from like two people. It was probably like 100,000 from like 20 fucking 5 people.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
wait.
To
What
get
is
to
an
the
IP?
to that budget. I'm not doing good at the math, but I'm sure like
Alonzo.
like oh, Spider-Man musical. People didn't think. I'm saying is like if you think about it for half a second, it sounds stupid as shit. But if you just go to somebody and you're like, hey, give us $2,000 and you can be in on the Spider-Man Broadway musical. And you're like,
Okay, so then
Spider-Man
what's the thing
Broadway
we're gonna
musical?
make?
How many points do I get? You only get 0.03, but trust me, dude, that goes to fucking $1 million. That's going to be... Yeah, I was like,
I think there's some of the
yeah.
producers thing going on here.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or
Like,
right
it will
here,
be
like
so
honestly,
bad.
like guys, have you guys seen this? I'm sorry, chat. Like I know there's only 3 people right there, but this is actually shockingly bad. Isn't that shocking? Have you seen this before?
I've not
Have you seen this before?
I've not seen this before.
This is not even a lizard. This is literally a T-Rex that has T-Rex arms and little like
It
green
looks like
pants.
it looks
They
like
added another thing to the back. This is no, literally.
It's-
That's the T-Rex. That's the T-Rex costume. The little inflatable one right here, right there. That's the thing. And then they added this shit to the back. Holy shit!
It's like Lizard is supposed to be a guy who's like his skin has been turned scaly. He looks like the Lizard Man that you've had on your podcast. He looks like the Lizard Man, but really buff.
All right.
But it's like this is literally looks like a T-Rex is bursting through a scientist who vanished at the same time the T-Rex bursted through.
I don't think we've
You know what?
considered
It's
this movie
been
too,
too
maybe.
fucking. Oh my god! We'll watch the rest of this clip and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here because I feel so bad for Megan Tuttle.
Oh, I'm good.
Nah,
Oh, I'm enjoying it. What is this?
I don't know. I was so confused. I literally was so confused by the lizard and the fact that you pointed that out, and I was like, because dude, I'm so because they said $60 million. I'm so expecting.
But even this set is kind of, I mean, for $60 million, kind of just like a black and white revolving cityscape. It's like Avenue Q's set was better than this.
I wonder if like the money just comes from being on Broadway. I guess you know, like it probably costs a lot of money to rent a Broadway stage. You know.
I wonder how that works, because you, like, Broadway is such a big deal. Like, I imagine it's not as simple as renting.
No, I mean, well, either way, like whether you can get on there or not, like, it's like once you can, it's like if you got a Hollywood like star, you still got to pay like $250,000 for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like one of those things. Where it's like, yeah, whether you can still get it or not, it's got to be pretty expensive either way. That's fucking who's the guy? The hunter? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a horrible costume, dude. I watched,
But that's still better than the lizard.
I guess like marginally, dude.
The paper mache head is still better than like just a dinosaur costume you cut in half.
Here's the thing. Here's my whole point about this. This is more expensive than The Lion King. Have you ever seen The Lion King on Broadway?
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen The Lion King. I've seen it at...
Holy shit!
I think I saw
You
it
might
at
not have
Disney
like the
World.
proper respect. Hey,
It's
Sam
really
Mandy.
good.
Like, dude, here. Hey, let me.
I
I'll just pull it up real quick.
I want to say I saw some prototype play at Disney World before it went
Like,
Broadway.
let me show you what Broadway can. I mean, like, I don't think
It's
Sam.
really, really good.
Have you ever been? Have you ever actually seen like a New York Broadway play that's actually good?
I saw Wicked and Spam-A-Lot.
Well, okay, there we go. All right, that's totally fine. I'm not trying to fucking. Yeah, that's completely. Those are two sensational, good fucking things. I like the little.
And I went to Disney World, and there's like some Lion King play they make you like watch in the queue. I don't know how much that overlaps with the Broadway play.
I don't know, but the costumes are fucking phenomenal. Is the point? It's like they got like giraffes and shit that look like fucking giraffes. There we go. Let me just pull up this.
Dude, they got a tiny desk.
They have a tiny. Yeah, I
They
ain't
have a
playing
tiny,
that shit.
an NPR.
Yeah, I
tiny
mean, I'm
desk.
sure they like a bunch of. Oh my god, come on, guys, just play the. Come on, guys, let's just be cool. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, let's figure it out. It was already on YouTube. You could have just taken me right there. It was great. I love how they just work for it. Look at that. See the fucking drafts and this shit.
Yeah.
And that was less than than Spider-Man.
Yeah, this is like in every element is like
Beautiful.
it's so thoughtfully done. The costumes, the sound. You can tell it's multiple sets.
Yeah, and it's like, and yeah, the costumes are obviously done by people that give a
Fuck.
half a fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, at all half a fuck. Like there's no, like, and I'm saying, you know that they had none of the money that these other motherfuckers had. It's crazy. I'm saying I'm gonna play a little bit more of it. It actually is shockingly fucking just depressing. And it's like, it makes me go like, man, maybe black people have a point about the racism shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, this is crazy how much they put into this fucking beautiful production. And then, let's go back. Can we go back to the other fucking shit real quick?
Compared to Wicked, like Spamalot was a lower budget than Wicked, but it's like even Spamalot had costumes.
Amazing.
But Spamalot had costumes. It had different sets. But I imagine more budget is in Wicked, and it's like, so compare Spider-Man to even the lower budget ones, and it doesn't hold.
So let's look at this. So this is the highest budget. We'll end the show on this. This is the highest. This is the highest budget fucking theatrical show that ran for 3 years. Look at this shit.
That's Rhino.
Look at this shit. This is fucking embarrassing.
Dude, hey, here's something.
One second, let me turn the mute off. I'm sorry. Go on.
Hey, I have something interesting to tell you. So you know how Lion King was so creative and exceptional, right?
Yeah.
Julie Taymor is the vision behind the Lion King.
Who's Julie
Guess
Taymor?
who else? Julie Taymor is a producer, director of Broadway. But guess what else her vision had hands on?
Beetlejuice?
Spider-Man.
This one?
Yes.
No way, really?
So
Yeah,
what
dude,
happened?
yeah.
Is the difference Sony? Because Spider-Man is weird. Spider-Man's the weird MCU property, and that Sony still owns part of it.
I'm not giving this. You know what?
But like,
I'm not doing this. I'm not giving this bitch no fucking credit. Like she really fucking dropped the ball 100%. One sec, or maybe everything. So okay, I'll take this. I'll take it back real quick. First off, the last video we just played was a beautifully shot promotional video. This is an audience member filming Spider-Man from their seat with from an iPhone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right away, there's gonna be a fucking discrepancy there.
But I'll give her credit.
The costumes are dog shit. Can I send you the picture of the fucking lizard man costume? Have you seen that?
No, I saw it. It looks crazy. It looks like
come on, dude.
like the dinosaurs from the dinosaur sitcom TV series were better.
And then do you know what?
Do you know what the character costume taped to another party store costume? Like,
do you know what the character's supposed to look like? Do you know what the character's? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the movie. It's supposed to just look like a fucking lizard man and like he wears
John's like, have you seen the lizard man before?
Well, it's like because I don't because that costume is so far off of what it even is. It looks like a dinosaur bursting through a man as opposed to
No, but it's crazy because it's literally the other costume. Like, have you seen the memes? It's the dinosaur with the small arms costume. And then I don't even know what the other costume is. I think they might have created the tail costume by themselves for some reason. But they that is definitely two costumes combined to each other.
20 million went into that tail.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. Is like if this is the highest production, like, fucking theatrical thing, and that's the fucking lizardman costume.
I bet you a ton of the money went into paying for the medical bills of the stuntmen that got killed or hurt, and then paying the Edge and Bono. Those fucking guys are not cheap. I mean, come on, they built a ball in Las Vegas for them.
Ooh,
okay.
Can I see Spider-Man turn off the dark at the
music
sphere?
for fucking Lion King? Let's figure out who did the music for the Lion King musical. I bet they're pretty fucking expensive.
I don't think
a bunch of no-name.
I wonder if it's for. Did you know?
She wrote the book for Spider-Man. She didn't actually get to have a lot of creative say. She got kicked to the curb, and they picked a different creative consultant who replaced her.
Tim Dillon's cousin is the guy who did the music for Avenue Q and then Frozen.
Tim Dillon's
No
cousin.
way.
Yeah.
That's their cousin. His cousin.
His cousin. I'm pretty sure his cousin's like close to EGOTing off of
Elton John
music.
did all the Lion King shit. So
But
come
that's,
on,
that's
you
the
can't
19.
be.
That's the 1994.
And they use all the fucking songs for it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
then,
he still composed all the shit for the theatrical
No,
shit.
if
it
you
looks
look
like.
up Frozen, the guy who did Frozen, that's Tim Dillon's cousin.
Are you talking
What's that?
Jeff
Let's see.
Marks?
The guy who did Frozen is what's that?
Yeah.
Tim.
Is it Jeff Marks?
The music. The music.
Jeff Whitty.
Let's see. Jeff Whitty. What?
Look up the Frozen.
No, it's not. I was looking up Tim Dillon's cousin. Who's Tim Dillon's cousin who makes scores for musicals? There we go. In one episode, Tim Dillon mentioned that his family member or something.
Oh, it's his
Robert Lopez.
Yeah, I don't know.
Robert Lopez.
No,
Robert
it's
Lopez.
his
Yeah, that's
mother.
his brother.
Oh, wait,
that's
no.
his
Goodness.
cousin.
No, yeah, that's the guy, but it's like, yeah, he brought it up. I guess I heard it on that podcast. This dude's doesn't know what he's talking about. He brought up that his cousin is the guy who did, and if you look up Robert Lopez, he's like a Long Island guy, which adds up.
He did Avenue Q, Book of Mormon, Coco, Frozen, and Frozen 2. The guy's fucking.
No, he's like
All
close.
right, let's look at
He's
this.
close
Let's
to
look at this.
EGOTing off of music alone.
He did. He is an EGOT. He's the only Filipino to win an EGOT.
Yeah,
What? The only Filipino to win an EGOT? I guess that's
And he
not
won
that
it
crazy
all
because how
in
many
4
EGOT
years,
winners really
or
are
10
there?
years.
They can't be that many.
I mean,
Um,
I don't know, dude. I don't know all of them.
Well, it's an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. I mean, that's what EGOT is.
he's double EGOT.
It's not one award. It's
There's
it's 4
21.
awards.
No,
21
but
winners.
he's done it all through like music. Music is the easiest one because it's like you can have a soundtrack to everything. There's a soundtrack for movies. There's a
wow.
soundtrack for musicals.
Yeah.
Have you thought
Yeah.
about this, Tuttle? Have you
No,
thought
I've
about
looked-
winning
I've
an
looked-
EGOT
I've looked-
before?
I'm not a musician. I couldn't.
But I'm saying, but have you thought about winning an EGOT before? Like, where did this
no,
information
I mean,
come from?
I've looked. I mean, there's the 30 Rock episode which introduced it to me, but then it's
Same.
what is it? It's Trey Parker and Matt Stone are like super close in that they have 3 in a nomination.
They don't have a fucking EGOT. What do they have?
They have they're very close. They just have a nomination for an Oscar for Blame Canada.
So they've got an EGT.
An EGT and a nomination, which having a nomination helps.
Hey, here's the funny thing. They're never gonna get that Oscar.
No,
either.
no, at
They're
this point,
never gonna
no.
get it. No.
Well, they're actually producing. They're putting together another movie.
And
right
here's
now.
the
They're
thing. I'm not
producing
even
a new
saying
movie.
off of fucking political shit because I think they got enough money to do it. But I don't think unless I think one of them could do it. And if they tack the other one onto
Actually,
it, then they could do it. But
It'd be crazy
yeah.
if the Casa Bonita documentary got an Oscar this year.
You know what? Maybe they'll do it. Maybe let's push them through just so they can give it to them. They might do that shit.
Yeah, the Casa Bonita documentary was surprisingly good, but
You
I
watched
can't.
it?
Was it
yeah,
good?
but I can't see it appealing to people outside of people already interested in South
Which
Park.
is the kind of shit that wins fucking shit.
Yeah, it's not going to win, but it is like a decent documentary, and that it doesn't really like they don't talk about South Park a lot. You can really watch it as like two guys who like don't want this place that's important to them to die. But a lot of the funniest.
It's more of like a story about them being from Colorado and loving Casa Bonita. Like that's more of it than their career.
But I guess the funniest moments come from the documentary. Almost come from like them having to actually be around their fans. So like they open up the restaurant and now these guys that like are there for South Park are there, and like there's a great scene of like a guy like taking a picture with the Cartman while like quoting him, and Trey Parker's like across the restaurant like just scowling at the guy.
Did you guys ever see Cannibal the musical? The shit they used to do before they blew up. And like honestly, Basketball is like one of the greatest things.
Yeah.
They didn't produce it. They were only a part of it. Like they were only cast in it. But that era of like 90s Trey Parker, Matt Stone, they also used to do like special features for the DVDs for South Park. And there's one where they would introduce each special features while sitting in a hot tub naked together. And it was just shit like that where I was like, these guys these guys have this I don't give a fuck while also being mainstream. Like that's the thing. You're saying like Casa Bonita would only appeal to people who like them, but like everyone loves Book of Mormon. Everyone. I mean, Book of Mormon is like one of the most successful
holy
musicals
shit.
of the last 15 years.
They're missing an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably do Book of Mormon.
I mean, it depends. If they did a Book of Mormon movie, especially like sound, so that's how they got close last time was original music, and they lost to The Lion
Yeah.
King.
Ah, fuck.
No, they lost to Tarzan. They lost to Tarzan because they made a really big deal about like Phil Collins beating them in like the season after that happened.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
By the way, Phil Collins is almost he's gonna die soon.
Oh no!
I mean, he
Did
really
you know that
rocked
Phil
that shit,
Collins-
though. I mean, if you listen to it, he really
Did you
killed
know
it.
that Phil Collins has the largest personal collection of Alamo paraphernalia and historical stuff?
No,
He's like they
Isn't he British?
Yeah. Yeah, he is like the foremost collector and owner of Alamo stuff. So like his work collecting has put the Alamo's like backlog up to like 2 museums in size. That's why Alamo's expanding. They're gonna basically have like a brand new museum that's huge, like 4 stories, and it's gonna mostly include his shit that he's tracked down. Did not know that. I learned that from
We should call it the
living in this-
Alamo, dog.
Dude.
Yeah, dude, or the Tarzanimo.
I mean, honestly, if you're looking at like
The Genesis Alamo.
I'm a guy that loves
The
South
Gin
Park.
Alamo.
I'm a guy that loves South Park. All right, but I mean, isn't fucking the shit that Phil Collins did on Tarzan a lot more like different,
Timeless?
and like I mean, it was a lot more emotional. It was a lot more different.
Yes.
The series the South Park did, I mean, it was good, but it was definitely just a parody of fucking show tunes.
It was
Very
novelty.
different, yeah.
It was very novel, as opposed to being like.
I don't think that you could sit Matt and Trey in a room with fucking with that guy Phil Collins, and they could honestly say that they're better musicians than the guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, look, yeah, it looks like they're doing the Book of Mormon as a film.
are they really?
But maybe I wouldn't.
Hey, guess who's writing it?
Who?
Tim Dillon's
Phil
cousin,
Collins?
along with Trey Parker and
Who-
Matt
who's
Stone.
doing
Dude,
it?
Phil Collins would be fucking awesome.
Who's
That
writing
would
it?
be fucking awesome. His last thing he produces is him.
He
doing
does
the
the
Book of
music.
Mormon.
Dude, that'd be so funny, actually. Yeah.
And then he wins an Oscar and they don't. He wins like a 5th Oscar and they still get snubbed.
Or he just comes out with another or he just like does some shit for Disney on the same year that they come out with it.
Yeah,
Somehow he wins
right,
the
right.
Oscar. That would be fucking
Right.
amazing. Dude, we gotta get a hold of his people and tell him that he needs to do this shit. Like, dude, just hold it back.
Well, I have
Just
an
hold
in.
it back.
I have an in. Through the Alamo, I have an in. Maybe we could get in touch with him.
Yeah, dude. It's like, hey,
He's-
man, just hold it back until they release this bullshit, and then just drop some
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
fire. Just
Yeah.
give it to
Yeah, that-
somebody.
Yeah.
Like Fast and the
Yeah,
Furious
that-
wins it because Phil Collins just drops the most fire, this most fire bullshit. He just gives it the most
He did an
ridiculous shit.
original song for Fast 13.
He
or
drops like
whatever.
a Drake back to back or like a Kendrick like Not Like Us, and it
Yeah,
becomes like it
yeah.
becomes a summer hit of the year and all that. He just calls Drake a pedophile
Yeah.
again. Drake's a pedophile. I want to know why he's texting Bobby Millie. I want to know the text. Can you show me how many parties did you go with P. Diddy? Holy shit, he's dropping that fire.
All right, fellas. I gotta go to a child's birthday party.
I think we all
to my
gotta do
niece's
shit.
birthday
Mhm.
party. So y'all have a good one. Sorry to talk about Hitler. I mean, I didn't realize it would be so unpopular, but we'll curb that next time around. Me and Alonzo. We won't argue about Hitler and how cool or not cool he was. So
No,
Yeah.
just do it at a time when I can give my opinion. Budinch.
nice.
All right, what we got to
All right,
plug? What
fellas.
do you got coming up?
Oh, nothing. Just go buy a shirt. Cream cheese tees. Bye.
All right. I don't know if I want to plug any of my shit on this episode. You want to plug any shit on this episode?
I don't think so. I don't really have anything.
That sounds good. It's all coming up. I have shit coming up. I'm eating popcorn. That's been a funky dealer.
Nine a winner. Pay the front line. Take the don'ts. He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4's the point, mark 4. Ace, deuce, scrap, wants 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 4. Ace, deuce, ace, deuce, scrap, wants 4. Scrap, wants 4.
Not bad, boss.
Wants the hard 4. 5 wants 4.
Check me out, y'all.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 4, and he made it the hard way. Pay the front line, take the hard. We have a shooter and a good one. Coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point as 9. Place 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. He's a rolling point as 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. Who wants to come? 6 to point.
Check me out, y'all.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets. Place your bets. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
So funky. So funky. Check me out, y'all.
8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. He's a rolling point as 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. Who wants to come? Place 6.
So funky. So funky.
Coming out again for a new point.
So funky.
Bets down, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants the hard 4?
So funky.
5 wants 4.
Check me out, y'all.
4 4's the point, mark 4.
So funky.
Ace, deuce, scrap, wants 4. Ace, deuce, deuce.
So funky.
Scrap, wants 1. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Who wants to come?
Check me out, y'all.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets. 9 a winner. Pay the front line, take the don'ts. He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4 4's the point, mark 4. Ace, deuce. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Who wants